God, what did you just say?
All right, we are live. Welcome to Minimax 20. We have a new arc for you guys tonight. We are going to be starting. We have Connor, we have Todd, we have Nathan, we have Logan all with us. I don't have any banners necessarily for everybody, but starting in the top right, it'll be Todd, and then below him is Connor, Nathan, and then to the left, we don't have Logan on the actual camera, but he will be hopefully with us visually next week. But that is where we kind of stand for that. But yeah, without further ado, let me go ahead and just get a couple things going here. Let me go ahead and just bring this over yonder. Actually, hold on. I need to click this.
Take a drink of mine.
Need to unmute
Water.
Probot.
Man, it looks like a refreshing drink of water.
I'm gonna go ahead and minimize
It is
this.
good, sir.
I'll enjoy my water.
Yes. Very
All right, let me go ahead.
liquidy water you got there.
Oh, did I accidentally
It's a little
close out of
maroon.
that? Oops. All right. Oh, I just went to my college website instead of my documents. Oops.
Dude, it's a sign.
It's a college stream tonight, boys. That's the new arc. We're starting to improve ourselves. We're going to. All right, here we go. All right, cool. Got this up. All right, and as long as there's nothing holding us back necessarily for any questions or anything, we should be good to go. If everyone here is everything still? Okay, everything's still.
The only tragedy is internal, so I think we're good to go now.
Okay.
Yes, the wise.
Sounds good. To me, that's not going to be running. Okay, cool. So, oh, I do have two. Why did it say that I didn't have two? That's so weird. We can go and close that one out. Put this one up.
Is it OSB or Discord?
No, I thought I closed out my Google Chrome, but then I had it up still. But it was kind of weird. Okay, everything's still functioning. All right, boys. Y'all ready? I'm ready. Let's just do this thing, shall we?
Ready.
All right, so our prologue. So our story begins. So let's go ahead and dive into this. So it is, and y'all have anything for notes? If y'all have notes and stuff, everything? All right, cool. I'm going to be giving some exposition, so then just want to give you all the opportunity to do that. All right. So I got to make sure I sit properly. Okay, so the prologue, our story begins. It is Dutha, which is the second day, in the second week of the month of Warwind, which is the 9th of Warwind. Winter has claimed the continent of Wovrin, as days are short and nights are long. Snow and ice encompasses the lands throughout, especially so in the northmost reaches of the realm. The White Whale Expanse makes up the majority of the lands that lie beyond the Everreach Peaks, stretching from the provinces of Silvis in the west to Rewek in the east. It is a massive taiga that stays frigid and cold for roughly 9 months out of the year, warming up just long enough in the summer for trade, commerce, and construction to be completed before the fall and winter claim it back once more. Our story begins in this desolate landscape in the peak of winter. At Grimtoll Hold is where a handful of adventurers are about to band together to brave the frozen landscapes, and if successful, reap the benefits of a grand payout. However, they must first traverse the Frost Trail. So, now, with that, we'll go ahead and get into each kind of character starting points here. So first we'll start with Sir Denric of Redhelm. Having arrived in Grimtoll Hold 3 days ago, concluding your negotiations yesterday and pending the results of the meeting, you spent the rest of the day exploring the hold. It was while exploring that you discovered a job board located in one of the various plazas, requesting a protection detail in an excursion to the hold of Snowstone. Normally, such a foolhardy request would have been ignored, but the payout of the trip is what held your attention. Coincidentally, the destination coincides with the task that you've been sent out to accomplish. The meeting for interested individuals was set to take place today, just after sundown at a listed address. A proper night is always punctual, and so here you stand at the closed gate of the fenced-in estate. And then I'm gonna go through each of them. So there you are, Sir Denric. Zahir. Arriving at Grimtoll Hold just this late evening, you quickly investigated within the city a means of navigation to the east. When the stars above reveal your direction, it's best not to keep fate waiting. While scouting for avenues of traversal, you found a curious listing on a job board. A protection detail is being assembled in an effort to brave the Frost Trail in order to make it to Snowstone Hold. The payout is quite sizable, which is an added benefit, but having assistance in getting to your destination is the true value. You saw that the meeting was today, just after sundown at a listed address. As you look up from the flyer that gave you directions, you see a heavily armored individual standing just outside the front gate from the estate grounds. Virden Verla. Am I saying that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
You got it.
Traveling
Gotta make
quick.
things hard.
Yeah, right. I'm not gonna lie. I had to switch it because if I would have kept a W, I would have fucked it up. So I switched it in all my writings because it would.
You gotta do what you gotta do, man.
Okay. So Virden Verla. Traveling quickly across the plains is very convenient until it is absolutely not. Upon your arrival and entering the nearby city in the early morning, you quickly found that this is not Snowstonehold, but rather Grimtollhold. Upon some inquiries being made in order to figure out a means of travel, you were directed to a flyer that is requesting a protection detail and heading across the Frost Trail to Snowstone. It seems this might have worked out for the better, seeing the size of the reward for a successful traversal. The meeting is this evening, just after sundown, so might as well start looking for the estate now. And then, last but certainly not least, we have Morello Audaxian. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Having arrived at Grimtollhold around midday, which marked the completion of your escort mission, you finalized getting your payment and then ventured off deeper within the city to see what lies within. After spending some time exploring the various plazas, you eventually came across a job posting that articulated the need for a protection detail to navigate to the next holdover. Having spent just a couple hours here already, you figured there probably wasn't too much more tucked away than just more piles of snow and ice. Plus, the reward money upon a successful excursion would be well worth your while. With your mind made up, you gather directions to the estate that was listed on the parchment. You're going to get there a little bit past the appointed time, but confident that the abilities you offer will allow them to make room for one more. So with that, with all characters kind of set, everyone's kind of pieces on the board here, we go ahead and jump back to Sir Denric of Rudhelm. And then as well as Zahir, who at this point you are now kind of, I would say probably about 80 or so feet down the path, and you see kind of this heavily clad individual standing outside the estate. You saw him from a ways back as he kind of approached, but then he kind of stopped and was just kind of looking over the estate itself. As you quickly traverse the last little bit of distance here. In that time, what do you want to do, Sir Denric? Actually, Denric. Sir Denric, go ahead and make a perception check for me. Oh, he's muted. That's so good.
He's muted, but he's also talking to Ashley.
You're still muted. I cannot hear you if you have rolled.
Yeah, I think you're muted in Discord, Todd.
You're still muted. Maybe
Sir Denric is stoic as all hell.
Yeah, actually, I'm gonna go ahead and see here. Okay, so the audio is playing through the stream, so we're good on that. Okay, you're unmuted. Oh, you muted yourself again.
You have push to talk enabled or something?
Sir Denric. This is going great.
Well, the first bit, first bit.
Oh, I think he's trying to figure something out. He's getting IT. He's getting IT support. He's getting the IT support. That's great.
That's good.
Okay, now you're unmuted. Or at least it says you're unmuted.
Make a noise, Toodles.
Okay, there you are.
Yay! That's why you make the big bucks.
Okay, did you hear me? Go ahead and make a perception check.
I heard nothing, dude. You're gonna have to redo it.
The whole thing? It was muted from the beginning?
No, I heard as soon as I was at the entrance.
Okay.
Okay, well, so go ahead and make a perception check for me.
I can do that. I will perceive the area. 17.
17. So as you go ahead and you're kind of hesitant to enter into the actual grounds, as you're kind of observing first and just making sure that you do your due diligence of, making sure that everything is kind of in order, considering that you went to this random address. And I would say this building is not the most inviting. You see that the estate it's a fairly large 2-story building. with oh, excuse me, goodness gracious, with like kind of with a high topped roofs that kind of jet up, like that are almost like elevated for almost more like kind of eccentric kind of presence. And it looks like the materials of the building seem to be of either like a deep brown or a black colored wood, so it looks kind of ominously darker toned. You can see that the front yard, as you're looking around, is about 40 to 50 feet wide, and then it goes about 100 to 125 feet back to a front porch. The yard also does kind of, as it makes its way to the front porch, it does kind of split off, and it creates two alleyways that seem to go deeper into the actual grounds itself, and goes to the left and the right of the building, probably towards like the backyard if there is one.
Does the architecture seem like visibly different than everything else?
I would say
Or
as
is
you
it
look around, as you've been in the town for a couple of days, it doesn't. Like, there's been a couple other dark toned buildings, or at least dark in construction, but this one, I would say it's not like super different, but it's definitely unique in the sense that you haven't seen a similar constructed building. A 6-foot tall iron fence rests on the perimeters of the grounds with the gate closed, and you can see that there's a latch as it's latched shut. But as you kind of looking over everything, you do look over to the left of you, and you do see, Nathan, if you want to go ahead and describe your character, or Zahir rather.
You see about middling build, person with kind of almost like a glowing yellow face, almost like subdued, a little bit subdued, but it definitely like almost shines with like speckles of like blue, purple, and like various colored freckles on his face, in a very deep like purple, almost black coat that has like spots of stars on them, and they are walking towards the estate with a large staff with a large gnarled like branch staff with a large crystal on the top of it.
And then with that,
How far away are you?
he's probably about 20-ish feet, but with that, as he does approach, and as you're looking and you take in this visibly unique individual, you do see that they're not just like walking past. It's almost like they're in a directional pathing to get to you. So it's not like they're just like, oh, walking down the road. They're like looking towards you, kind of making eye contact. At which point, Sir Denrick, go ahead and describe yourself as you both kind of exchange these glances.
Well, I am Sir Denrick, and my character is kind of early 30s. I guess just more looks like a normal human. Definitely like a little more, I guess, grizzled, brown hair and beard, and then like a heavily armored. I have so I'm wearing like a fur cloak. I have a tabard that is green and white, and it has the like a lion head symbol on it. And yeah, I mean, I have actually a photo I can send to the.
Oh, nice.
I have a photo I can send if you guys would like.
Context.
You guys, it's
Contextual
context art. Yes. If this is copyrighted, I am sorry.
Well,
To whoever.
I think that's the least of our worries at the moment.
I'm not gonna show it. I'm not gonna show it. We're just gonna. You can put it in the visuals and graphics portion of the.
You do
Discord.
a good job, and I appreciate you. That's all I gotta say. I'll give you $2.99 in due time.
I think next time I probably will go ahead and actually make a Discord window, and then I'll go ahead and make it so we can kind of use visuals too to kind of help us. I think that's helpful.
I think, disregard the explosion behind
Oh,
it.
I didn't know.
Usually.
Hey, bro, this.
Sir,
Damn.
what's up, Daddy Redder?
Okay.
Oh my god.
Damn.
This is what I found.
Hold,
the
hey,
character's
hold
flies.
up.
Holy
Hey,
shit.
hold
Todd looks
up.
up hottest knight alive, and then he's like, "That's me."
Damn.
What can I say, dude? I
Damn,
got
hold
charisma
on.
16. Dude.
Yeah, next time.
I ain't some ready.
Yeah.
I ain't some ready individual, dude.
Dude, yeah, he broke the Goblin Horde with his fucking solid chin. I can see it.
Yes, sir.
I will.
Dude.
I'll add
I
it.
ain't just some common. I ain't some common peasant.
I'll add damn, I'll add a Discord window so that we can next time I'll show that so that we can have context as to
Yeah.
Sir Rizalot,
okay.
bro, from Rudhelm.
All
Wow,
right, anyway.
what a handsome boy. Okay, so as you are let's see here,
Or
right?
I didn't mean to distract. I didn't mean to
Yeah,
distract.
Zahir, as
you
you approach, you see one of probably one of the handsomest people you've ever met in your life. As he turns, handsome Squidward. As at this point, this
Actually, I have a photo of that as
as you both kind of at this point meet up, as you guys both kind of as you traverse the last couple of feet, and you guys are now kind of both standing at the front, like about like 3 or couple feet from the actual gate of this estate.
Greetings, and what is your name?
So before you approach, I kind of quickly glance down at like the flyer, and then I look up, and then you kind of describe your character, and then I guess yeah. So, I'm Sir Denric. I'm assuming you are also here for the protection detail.
Yes, I did see that, and I thought it was a nice opportunity to go east.
And what is your name?
Oh, my name is Zahir. I'll extend my hand for a handshake.
Well met, Zahir. I will shake your hand.
Mm-hmm.
This abode does not seem to be the most inviting. And the gate is shut, so I don't know if anyone else is here before us.
Well, it's like approaching sundown at the moment.
Yeah. So it's like it's just yeah. The sun is setting over in the east. Sets in the east, rises in the west. It's the sun is in fact setting. The last little bits of sunlight are kind of peeking over the walls that surround the hold itself. It is starting to get a little bit chillier. It's obviously already cold. It's already extremely cold, so you kind of have to like pull your clothes a little tighter on your body. But yeah, there's still a little bit of light. It's a little bit of light fleeting still in the over the distant walls.
Well, it's not quite sundown yet, so I imagine they'll send a runner out here to fetch anyone who has heeded the call.
Oh, I guess yeah, it does say that. We wouldn't want any charges of trespassing now.
I doubt that's what we want on our name at the moment.
So as you both go ahead and just kind of hang out, a couple minutes go by. Doesn't appear that anyone is coming out. Couple of people kind of some passerbys kind of on the main road kind of look at you a little wearily as you both just kind of standing there at the front. I will say, as you guys stand there for a couple minutes,
Can I talk to Zahir?
Yeah, you can talk to him, but yeah, go ahead in these couple minutes.
So, where do you hail from, Zahir?
I'd hardly say I hail from anywhere. I
Traveler?
kind of, I wouldn't say well, so far I've been under the impression that I was created and sent here, and I was never from anywhere. I walked out of the woods, and I've just kind of assimilated with society. That's really all I remember.
Interesting. I've never met anyone that just kind of appeared from nowhere.
Well, to my knowledge, I've a close affinity with the stars, so I believe that might be where I've come from.
I kind of look you over a little bit, and like, are you like a magical being?
I can very well do magic, yes.
Oh well, I guess if you're tagging, if we're both going on this quest, then that could come in handy because I don't do any magic.
No, I'm
And,
sure. I'm sure you're very useful. You look very capable.
Why, thank you.
Mhm.
Well, we will see if anyone else shows up.
I will say at this point, as you guys kind of conclude your conversation, you do see that on the actual parchment itself, it does tell you to go ahead and knock on the estate. Kind of a fine detail that
Oh.
was missed.
Knock on the front door.
Yeah, knock on the front door.
I don't know how we managed to miss that.
Well,
And,
I guess
yeah.
if we're invited in, then let's approach the estate.
Yep, I'll go up and knock.
So as you do still need to first at least get onto the actual estate grounds because there is like a latched gate that's attached to the actual iron fence. But as you kind of lift the latch itself, it does free itself willingly, and you do manage to push open the actual the gate as it swings inward. As it kind of creaks open, you do, as you guys both kind of step forward, you do notice that the lawn is covered in a good bit of snow. However, the actual pathway to the porch itself is cleared, so you don't have to, you're not at risk of falling and breaking your neck or having to, worry about that. So as you both go ahead and it's about 125 feet. So as you both go in and make your way across the ground itself, kind of looking around, looking up at the roof itself, just seeing the long kind of elongated and like emphasized roof details. It's very off-putting, but I mean, this is where you're meant to be. So as you traverse the rest of the steps to the actual getting to the front porch, as you make your way up, you see the porch itself is roofed, so like the roof does come out, jets over it, and it is supported by 2 pillars, as there is railing around the porch itself. And as you step up, you can see that there is about 10 to 15 feet of like little nooks off to the left and right side. And as you both kind of traverse the space to get to the front door, you do see that the door itself, it looks like it's very heavy set, and it seems to be kind of like made of some thicker, hardier wood. You see that the door itself is reinforced along like the edges and across like the middle portion of it. You do see that there are strips of actual like metal itself kind of drilled into it to reinforce this. And then you also see that the door handle is attached to like an elegantly kind of etched piece of metal as well. And it kind of, as the handle kind of comes out, there is a keyhole underneath it, and resting in the kind of not a dead center but kind of offset, so it's about probably eye level or so, maybe a little bit less than that. You do see a very nicely designed knocker that depicts a raven's head kind of coming off, and it's holding what looks to be like a scroll case of some kind. And then you see that the sling for the case itself, it seems to hang down, and that is where you actually grab the knocker and make contact with the door itself. Go ahead and both make perception checks for me.
23.
Okay.
18.
So actually, both of you, as you guys kind of are looking, and there are kind of off to the left and the right, kind of elevated up in the space. You do see that there are 2 lit, kind of what are they called? Not lanterns. Like
Razors.
Yeah. Yes. Like covered braziers that like would be like lighting up the porch itself. And as the fire kind of, the flames kind of flicker, you both at the same time can discern that within the eyes of the actual ravens themselves, of the raven eyes itself, where they would be, you see like some of the light kind of reflecting weird. And as you get a little bit closer, you can see that it appears to be like glass of some sort, and you can kind of discern that these are probably peepholes for the individual on the other side of the door that can actually look through. But it's like etched in the design of the knocker in a very like subtle way that you guys kind of had to like, it was only with the catching of a off glance that you both noticed this. As you guys are now like kind of, taking it all in, observing all these things, I will say, at this point there is, hold on, where am I at? At this point, goodness gracious, Virden, At this point, you've now kind of rounded the last street a little bit ago. You're now kind of briskly walking up to the actual, as you're looking down at the parchment to make sure that you got the right directions. And you, at this point, have made your way to the front gate. Gate kind of swung open, and you do see two individuals on the porch about 100-ish feet away, kind of curiously looking over the door itself.
Okay, yeah.
Uh,
I would, real quick, since I've been in town for a while, would I have already cast my Find Familiar spell and have my familiar, or is that something I need to do still?
You could have already done that, yes.
Sweet, okay, then just so I got my bird with me.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I think, so yeah, I'm walking up, it's still like a good distance to the door, but they're where I need to be.
Yes, they are at the designated location as to where you should be meeting up.
I think I'm seeing people already there. I think I'd begrudgingly walk forward, like not really wanting to socialize, but realizing I kind of have to.
Yeah.
I start making my way like kind of down the walk, not like a purposeful walk, but kind of just making my way down, kind of hoping they're just gonna open the door and be let in before I get there.
Okay. With both of y'all's perception checks, as you were looking over the door itself, as you guys kind of both recoil, cast curious glances at each other. As you both look at each other, you do see at the corner of your eye, you do see a third individual at this point now walking up the path to the porch itself.
Would like to say, this is a strange place. What do you make of it, Magic One?
Oh,
That's
it's
to use here.
talking about the location or this manor.
Just the manner itself.
It is a bit foreboding. I wonder if this door is this reinforced for a reason, or if it's just a statement.
Well, there's only one way to find out.
And I will try the knocker.
Okay. You guys both
do
did
seem to have.
You both did notice that a third individual was approaching. If you wanted to do anything, or if you want to
Yeah.
knock, totally fine. Up to you.
We do seem to have someone else approaching. Should we wait for him?
It'll probably take them a bit to
Slowly.
get to
Yeah.
the door.
It's gonna take a good 10 minutes for me to make my way down this yard.
He's about like 20, 30 feet away from at this point.
A good 5 minutes.
I meant just like the master of the
Are
house.
you making your way to the yard as creepy?
Oh,
as
I see.
possible?
So as do you want to go ahead and knock on the door?
Yeah, I'll knock on the door and then turn around to
Okay.
see.
So you kind of
Who's
step
approaching?
step past Sir Denric as you then kind of knock on the door. At which point, Denric, you kind of turn and you now face this other individual. Connor or Virden, if you would like to go ahead and describe your character for us.
Sure, yeah. Before I think clearly you can tell it is an elf. Though I think I was laughing. Zahir, as you were describing your character, as being very bright, I can only completely opposite image with my character, like very white, sullen face, like wearing very fine clothing that's weathered and beat up. No shade of color on any of the clothing. It's all variations of black, gray, and white. I think the only other thing he really tells you, he's walking with like a very fine posture, but just very slowly, like trying to like not be noticed. Like I think he like you probably see him wince as you like look at him. Like what wasn't ready to talk with people yet.
He's got a vampire, dude.
I think the only thing is you probably wouldn't see my owl right now because I would have him kind of flying around, just kind of looking for things. But I'm not like using my action to look through him right now. He's just kind of flying about.
How far away are you?
Yeah, like I'm 20 feet from you, man. I'm like right there. I think really, if I'm 20 feet away, I would have like kind of stopped, just not engage in kind of your like social area. Just kind of stopped and like waited there, almost in a queue for the door.
Guess I'll call out. Greetings. Are you here from the notice board?
Yeah, I'm here for passage of Snowstone.
You've come to the
well,
right
we're-
place, I do believe.
Yeah, we're just about to head in. Come join us.
All right, and I think he takes like maybe like 5 steps towards you to be polite. That you said come join him, but that's as close as he gets.
You're like kind of half up the stairs. You kind of like take a
Yeah, like,
step and you're
I take like 1 or 2 strides and just kind of just post up, you know.
sounds good.
I would like.
Also, how much snow is on the ground in this? Like, because you said it was like a yard. How much snow's kind of around here?
Go ahead and make.
This is Stillwater. in case anyone
I would say
knows.
go ahead and make an insight check to kind of determine, because obviously
Sure.
it's a little bit compounding, and you don't really know where the yard sat initially. So
Well, with a +4, that's a 9.
that's a 9. Best. I mean, it's obviously greater than a foot, more than likely.
Okay.
So it's about a foot, but I mean, it could be anywhere between like 1 to 3 feet.
Was there like a walking path kind of made for us to like?
Yeah.
Or we
So
just trudge it through.
no, it was the walking path. It was recently cleared. And as you're kind of looking around at the snow, you do start to see some of the flakes actually starting to kind of fall again from the sky, as from the gray sky, as the last kind of moments of sunlight are now kind of just kind of the beams hitting the wall and kind of like reflecting up. But at this point, it is now pretty dark within the actual city itself. Some of the the lights along the streets and a lot of the things that illuminate the space have already been lit, and since you got here in the morning, and you kind of felt the shifting of temperature as it kind of warmed up, and now it's definitely cold, like rounding off again, getting cold. You kind of the foot traffic is definitely down a lot as you're kind of just looking around towards the street again. There's like one or two individuals, but that's about it.
Hey, Jared, did you tell Eric that it's up?
Tell
watch in.
Our brother,
Miss
All of
Your
the
brother.
above?
our brother in Christ.
our brother.
Yeah, both of them.
Man, I mean,
I tell them now. There you go. Thank you for
All
that.
right,
Did,
well,
you post it, did you post it on your Twitter?
I don't have a Twitter, but I need to make a Twitter. I have an
So it's
Instagram, but I
like-
still didn't post it on Instagram, so I don't know why I'm saying that. It's a work in progress.
Hey, it
Is-
takes a minute. No problem.
Is insight kind of is like a suspicion check, right? Kind of.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
it's
called
a-
it
Use it as
sus
one.
checks
Like
this last
yeah,
time.
like reading a person.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
But
roll
it's also just
insight
like-
on this.
Nah.
I would say it. Yeah, it's
Cool.
more of like it's like trying to interpret or discern certain things that aren't like given. Like perception is looking around and seeing things visual. Investigation is hands on, and insight is to kind of like determine motives or determine certain aspects of the thing. So it doesn't necessarily have
I
to
will
be.
say-
It doesn't have to
Would you-
necessarily
would
be
you
a
even-
sus check. Go ahead.
Would you even use it though for someone like you've never met?
I would absolutely.
You could.
Myself,
100%.
I feel like I do it every day.
Yeah.
Okay, I'd like to roll insight on Edward Scissorhands.
Okay. Go ahead, roll.
Dang. 5.
Make it
Insight is
Connor, you
Can I
can.
roll against it?
Yeah, Connor. So you can choose between honestly any
wisdom 7.
7. Okay. Any charisma based skill. Don't tell me which one it is. Just roll it. If you beat it, then you can tell them whatever you think.
What was your total, Todd?
It was 7.
7.
I got 7.
Yeah, 7. Okay, so I'd say with a
Beats
beat.
it, beats it.
You'll stand off.
Or
Yeah, I would say meets it beats it. So I mean, you just go and you can go and tell them.
yeah. I have
Tell-
a -1 of charisma. I'm just proficient. Yeah, I guess looking at me, like I think me being standoff-ish, it kind of would at least probably just comes off more of just like social preference. Like doesn't really like chatting. Just is more of here as like a means to an end. It's like I need to get somewhere, and we're all here for a job type thing. It's not a very social person. But
You look like
Yeah,
a roguish individual.
I would say yeah. I would probably look a bit roguish. Just like I have a hood, but it's not like a big cowl. I have a blade, but it's like a rapier, not like a murderous dagger or something. But
Yeah,
I think like when I say black
daggers.
and gray, it's like yeah, it's the color scheme, but it's not like I have like this stealthy cloak. It's like just absent of color.
So I like how with the 7
Rope
you
was
managed
bigger,
to. I was like definitely nothing, and then then he beat it. As you're just kind of like taking an extra second to glance over this individual, which actually you're making Veerden even more uncomfortable. You're kind of like he kind of stares at you for an extra second, and you're just kind of like okay, and so you're kind of a little bit more off put. At which point, Zahir, you do the door does kind of creak open. It does stop about an inch or two of space, and you do hear out somebody say, "Who goes there?"
There's a group here for the job posting.
Oh, for the protection detail.
Yes.
Oh, excellent. As the door closes, you hear like a couple latches come undone. At which point, Denric, it's E, right? I don't want to mess this up.
Third Enric.
Sir Denric. Oh, I need to say Sir every time. As you want, Riz Lord.
If you would.
Put the respect on it.
It befits a noble knight of my stature.
Yes, so as you kind of turn your attention back towards, you guys kind of all kind of immediately as the door opened, you guys kind of all turn your attention back to it. As a couple latches come undone, and then the door does swing open. Immediately, as you are out in the elements, a wave of warmth kind of passes over your body, and kind of the smells of what probably like some tea or something cooking of a beverage of sorts, whether it's tea or maybe it's coffee or something. As it kind of a lot of these different things kind of hit you as you look in front of you, as he kind of holds the door open and standing in front. You see an individual that stands probably about 6'2" to 6'3". He's wearing a white long sleeve shirt with the cuffs rolled back, a maroon vest over top of it with gold embroidery designs, and then dark gray slacks. And then as you're like kind of looking down, you see that he has some kind of pointed fancy shoes. He has black hair that has kind of some slight curl to it as it droops down towards about like just above his shoulder length. And then one discernible feature is the fact that he has an eye patch over his left eye. And you can see four, like, I would say probably a good, like, hold on, let me get a ruler out so I don't, I would say,
Connor's dad.
yeah, I would say a good probably quarter of an inch, like, wide gashes running down the side, from his forehead down over his eye. You see that two of like the middle claws or the scars would have went over his eye. One kind of drags along the temple itself, and then one kind of follows the bridge of the nose and kind of stops just above his left portion of his lip. As he kind of stands there, since you veered in, you're kind of down a little bit more. I would like, actually, I'll just have Yuzi here since you're at the front. Kind of, you knocked. Go ahead and make another perception check for me to for me real quick.
Okay. An 18.
18. Okay, so you do manage to see, as you're kind of looking over a lot, like a part of his dark ensemble, you do see that with the white shirt kind of tucked in, you see that he does have a belt, kind of buckle, kind of affixed to the front of it. It appears to resemble similar to the knocker itself of a raven's head with what looks to be like a parchment carrier or scroll or something along the lines. It doesn't have like the sling that dangles, but it has the similar etched design of the door itself. Mm-hmm. At which point you kind of see as he opens the door and kind of takes a step back off to the side, kind of gesturing you in with his body language, saying, "Oh, please, yes, go ahead and enter on into the estate. I have been expecting you."
Are you the master?
I am indeed. I am Axov. I am Axov. It is a pleasure to meet all of you. We'll have a little bit more of formalities as you guys as we get around the hearth, considering it's so cold outside.
Yeah, it's
Axiov.
It's
Axov.
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 Aksov. Axov.
Oh, I spelled that so wrong.
I thought it was like Axolve.
Axov.
Axov. That makes a lot more
okay.
sense. Yeah. I spelled axe off. That's
Close enough.
really Moonlights was a fucking executioner. Got it.
Yeah, as you guys all kind of step into the space, you do see that that the entranceway kind of portion of the building, it is kind of like a little nook, and you can see that as you kind of all single file come into the space, you can see that that it's almost like a coat room, kind of like a portion where it's like, yeah, it's got coats hanging up to the right hand side. You can see some boots kind of laid out on the floor, and it's kind of like sectioned off. It has some stone kind of flooring, probably for to combat a lot of the snow and stuff of getting into the actual house itself. As you guys kind of all step in and he closes the door behind you, he does say, he's like, do not worry about taking your boots off or anything, obviously. I mean, we're just here for formalities, and then, I'm not too worried about it. Plus, with the walkway being relatively clear, as he looks down to each of your boots, he's like, y'all should be good. Come this way, as he kind of leads you further in. You do see, it's interesting.
They're like a rug.
There is a rug. You can kind of like, just at least.
I wipe my boots off anyway.
Sounds good.
I do not.
Okay.
Yeah, like I think I see them do it. I'm just confused, and then just make my way further in.
Okay. Sounds good. So as you guys make your way into the space, it is interestingly contrast to the exterior. Inside, it is a lot more vibrant and warmer. A lot of the interior wood and the kind of in construction seems to be like reddish, kind of almost twinges of orange hues, as you see that the hardwood floor kind of going out. As you guys kind of walk through the initial space, you see that there's a long hallway, probably about 10 to 12 feet wide, as it goes straight back. And then about probably 7-8 feet, 10-ish, 15 feet-ish into the actual hallway itself, you see that there are kind of arched openings that go to the left and the right. And as Axov, as he walks in and kind of immediately hooks to the left, all three of you go ahead and make perception checks for me as you guys kind of take quick glances as you're following around.
Is there any windows in this space, by the way?
Once you tell me your perception, I mean, immediately in this space, no.
Okay. Well, I'm just gonna say because my familiar is probably gonna be like psychically floating around. Let's see if there's any windows and such for him to peer in the same rooms I'm in. So whenever that becomes apparent,
as you're,
I'm gonna roll this.
Yeah, as you're, and then in the immediate area, no. But as you're walking in, you can look.
27.
Holy damn. Okay. Denrick.
27.
Yeah.
I got 4.
4, 15, 27.
4.
Okay, so just with Denrick, with your kind of just like what's the word? Proper.
Don't look around with suspicion.
Yeah, you're proper. You're obviously a knight. You've kind of take a lot of that stuff to kind of the heart. You're kind of more proper. You don't want. You're not just like peering eyes, moving all around and being kind of like inappropriate or rude. So you just kind of follow him, kind of keeping your glances minimal as you follow him directly behind as you enter in to the next space. Zahir and Virden, you both, as you guys kind of glance around, Virden, you kind of look off to the right-hand side as well, and you do see that that it appears to be a dining room area as it hooks to the right. So it seems to be a dining room to the right, and then as you both, as Denrick and Virden, as you both go into the left-hand side, it seems to be a kind of extensive parlor. You see there's a large kind of center couch, a couple kind of cushioned chairs to the left and right of it. Kind of a nice coffee table made out of similarly colored wood. You see that about 8-ish feet, 10-ish feet in front of that, you see an elaborate hearth and fireplace. As it is at this point, you can hear the crackling of the flames as it's going pretty good, and it's definitely warming up this space as you'll kind of step in. Zahir, you. As you see the same things that Virden did as you looked over to the right, but you also see at the far end of the hall, about probably another 40-50 feet down, you see that the door is partially cracked, and just from the quick glances and with your keen eyes, you can see that it appears to be a kitchen of some sort down at the far end. At this point, as you guys all kind of make your way into this space, you can see that this it also has, as you kind of now stepping in, and you actually have to step down. It has like one of those like carpeted stairs, like that steps down into the actual parlor area itself. You see that there's like bookcases, bookshelves, kind of like various areas with like kind of like little doodads and knickknacks and baubles, and it's just
doohickeys.
The space is very filled, but it's comfortable and it's cozy. As he kind of walks over, you do also see, as you enter now into this room, off to the right-hand side, there's another arch kind of opening, at which point you see that it connects to another room that, off to the left-hand wall, it has like a staircase that walks up, and then it kind of doubles back and then cuts back, if that makes sense. If I am out of shot for my hands, let me know.
You're good.
Okay. And then he, as he walks over to the right, kind of towards that arched area, and kind of gestures to the seating. He's like, "Please go ahead and make yourself comfortable. I will go. Would anyone like anything for to drink or anything to eat?"
Just some tea.
Tea.
Ollie rolled a 13. What does he do?
He exists. There's a cat now there's a cat in
nice.
the yeah.
Gonna get you some viewers.
Exactly like that. Exactly colored like
Yeah.
Ollie. You see a cat kind of at this point nestled up kind of to the right of the fire in a little kind of little like cat little bed. And then with the disruption of noise and stuff, it kind of like has perked its head up, but now as it sees all of you, it kind of just nestles itself back into its little bed. Oh, do not mind. That is Ollie. That is my cat. But you said you wanted tea. Is that correct?
Yes.
Anything else for the other individuals?
A tea.
I have tea. I have other beverages as well. I have alcoholic beverages. I mean, you name it. If you like a whiskey, I myself will probably have a whiskey.
I think Beard will just be.
You say water. You kind of cut out. You said water.
Just water. Oh
Okay.
yeah, just water.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that's too easily enough.
Oh yes, thank you. I'll have whatever you're having.
Easily enough. And as he goes ahead and turns to actually go to like the staircase kind of the staircase kind of well room, you do hear kind of some knocking at the front door, at which point he's like, let me get that real quick, and then I'll be right back and get all of you what you requested. As he makes his way back the way you came, at which point
We're in the parlor, right?
yes, you're in the you went off to the left hand side. You're in the parlor. As he kind of walks off, and similar, you can kind of hear him from where you are. Similar kind of treatment. He opens the door. You can kind of hear it catch, and he's like, "Who goes there?" At which point, don't want to mess your name up, Morello. You here? You with us?
Yes, sir.
All right. At this point, you do. Yeah, as you're on the outside, you just hit the knocker. You saw pretty much, for the most part, everything that was already kind of explained outside as well. You did go ahead and latch the gate because it was left like ajar. You latched it, and then you made your way up to the front. You knocked, and then you hear, "Hello, who goes there?"
My name is Morello. I have noticed you have a flyer out on the post out here.
Oh, you're in addition to the protection detail. Just give me 1 sec. As he closes the door, you hear the latches undo. As he opens the door, kind of in a similar fashion to the other group, you do see similarly described earlier to the rest of the group. If you want me to re-hit anything, that's fine. But he kind of gestures off to the left hand side. Actually, go ahead and make a perception check to see if you can catch his belt as well.
Perception check. That is a 4.
Okay, you're just kind of like,
Beautiful start.
You're like, oh, I'm in the right place. And as he sidesteps, kind of obscuring the ability to see his belt.
Only roll high instincts, thank you.
As he steps off to the side, he's like, please, go ahead and meet in the parlor. The other individuals for the protection detail are already here. Is there anything as you kind of step in? And he's like, oh, no worry about the boots. You can go ahead and keep them on. No worries about that. As you kind of step in, do you wipe your boots or do you walk in?
I don't have boots.
Do you just walk in barefoot? What do you got?
And
I have big, giant, scaly feet.
Oh,
But I am a 7.5 foot tall dragonborn.
Scaly.
Okay, I'm gonna have you describe your character when you walk into the next room. So you can go ahead and describe your character in depth when you get to the next room. But he looks down, he's like, wipe your boot. My apologies, I did not realize that you were not wearing any shoes. Was I guess even easier for you. And he's like, right this way. As he kind of guides you off, he closes the door behind, latches it, guides you off into the parlor. And as he steps down into the area with you, please go ahead and make yourself comfortable. Is there anything that I can get you to drink or to eat?
If you have some tea, I would take some of that, and any of your food would work. I have got off a long journey, so I'm quite hungry.
Absolutely. Would there be anything that you would like specifically in this? Like, would you like a snack or variety, or would you like a meats or breads, or what exactly would you like?
Oh, I would absolutely love some meats, please, if that is possible.
Easily enough. But yes, go ahead and make yourself comfortable. I will go ahead and be right back with all this. Thankfully, I was expecting company, and so this will be back briefly, or momentarily.
Thank you very much.
As he kind of, instead of going through to the stair kind of space, he just cuts back through the actual hallway deeper into the estate. At this point, as you guys kind of with the newcomer kind of all look over your shoulders and then kind of make eye contact with this new individual, go ahead and describe yourself, Morello.
I am a 7.5 foot tall dragonborn. He's pretty built as well. He carries on his back, you can see a shield and a pretty large mace slung up. Other than that, he's got just normal kind of traveler stuff, a bedroll, water pouch, and a pipe with a dragon's claw holding the kind of the end piece of it from his village.
Cool.
His
Like it.
his cloak is kind of this sunburnt red, and he's wearing some scale mail armor.
I would like to think that since you did just get off of another like kind of quest, that like you had to like drop your backpack in like the actual like coat area. You had to like doff your like gear that you just had for your traveling and kind of like thanks, dropped it down and then walked into the space. So instead of having to take off boots, you had to take off your bag.
I was like,
Yes,
I
I
don't
was
need this.
so weirded out by you. I didn't ask your character's name.
No, you didn't. That's okay with my character.
Now kind of tell me the configuration of where y'all seating, standing, sitting, whatever y'all want to do. How do you?
I am right next to the cat.
Okay.
Like, not petting it, but, like, exuding similar energy in
Okay.
the room.
Okay.
I will.
Yeah.
How many seats are there?
There,
Here's in the center of the couch.
So there's like a three kind of comfortable three space couch in the middle, and then there's two kind of detached sofa seats as well in the space, kind of all pointed towards the hearth itself.
So where would I need to be there to be next to the cat, or would I have to be, like, out away from there?
No, so you could the cat would be off to the left hand side. It would have been so here's like the arrangement. Here's the sofa. Here are the seats right here. You have like the hearth in the front, and the cat's kind of like off to the left hand side, kind of just tucked up in its little bed. So you'd be off to the left hand side of the hearth.
I'll be standing. Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
just stand next to the cat.
Okay, sounds
To
good.
the left. I'll stand next to the right hand chair. Just kind of as in respect to our host's furniture, because I'm still wearing my armor and I'm not taking off my sword. So I'm just kind of standing there.
Okay, so you're like standing behind one of the chairs.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. And then Morello.
I am standing by the door sill. I'm taking a look at everyone around me and just kind of taking account of what is going on in the room.
And then Zahir, you said you're just
Am I the only one
you
sitting?
were just plopped down in the middle. Apparently, I
in the
mean,
middle of the couch.
middle of the couch.
Oh,
Laying
is,
down, spreading out.
Is Axov there?
Axov is currently in the kitchen. He went off.
Greetings. I'm
Is
Sir
there-
Denric. And who do we owe the honor? Are you here for the quest? I say this to Morello.
That I am. It is a pleasure to meet you. My name is Morello Adiaxan. And he reaches out his hand.
Well met, Morello Adioxen. I shake his hand.
So, are you guys from this town or adventurers from around looking for money?
Well, I am from a ways off. I am from the Kingdom of Weston. It's actually not too far south, but it's on the other side of the mountains. I'm sure I didn't have the longest journey here. Yeah. I guess we should get familiar with each other if we're all going to be traveling. I kind of like gesture towards the other two.
Jared, does my bird have a view of Axoff right now from the window?
So yes, sorry. As you
Yeah,
entered in, there
fucking
is a window that that faces the porch. So as you walk into the space, it'd be on the left hand wall. However, go ahead and make perception checks with your familiar.
Sure. It's an owl, so it gets advantage. So that's be a 19.
Okay. Yeah, I need to look at the find familiar spell. That's fine. I kind of know how it works thanks to certain other shows with certain people having using the same thing. So as your owl kind of
So like for my character anyway, like people are talking, I'm like warged out, just like petting a cat, just like looking through the familiar's eyes.
Okay, so as you rear the as it circles the house for a couple and it kind of looks, you do see a handful of windows. You do see a window a couple windows on the second story. However, as you kind of glance through them, they all seem to be shuttered closed. But as you make your way to the back portion of the actual estate, you do manage to find all of the windows seem to be closed. However, as your owl kind of flaps and kind of looks in, you can see that you can see Axoff in the actual kitchen, kind of peering through a little bit of a slit that is still open. But there's not much to really see. As it is kind of flapping and kind of looking, you can see that he is kind of pouring currently some drinks, and kind of is getting like a platter together. But that is about the extent of it back in the kitchen.
Okay. Well then I'll get out my familiar, let my familiar do things. Pretty much just make it. Pretty much just like my character's pretty suspicious. It's like, hey, just make sure he's not poisoning my pond water.
Gotcha.
You know?
Yeah. I gotcha. 100%.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
And I, back where I am, I will say, and I'm Zahir, and I'm just lounging back on the sofa with my staff on my lap, and I'll just like raise a hand, and my name is Zahir, and good to meet you.
Bro, chill check, dude. See how hard you're chilling, dude.
Yeah.
I am chilling. 19.
Dang. Okay. Like,
I think I'm coming back from like working and I just see you like announce yourself like, and I'm Bearded. Then I just wave as I pet the cat. I'm Bearded. Just keep petting the cat.
Cool.
Just like felt like I missed introductions and had to interject.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like the kid waking up in the middle of class.
You've already got an answer.
Well met, Bearden. I apologize for not introducing myself earlier.
It's all right. I didn't catch your name. What's your name?
I am Sir Denrick.
Oh. Well met, Sir Denrick. That's it. Just like the conversation dies out as I just go to like pet the cat, which I'm not sure at this point it really wants me to keep touching it, but I do go back to touch it.
You can hear that it is purring.
Ah, hell yeah.
Like 1 slashing damage.
I'm so weak. That might kill me.
Morello, are you taking a seat or are you just going to?
Yes, I will take a seat.
Where do you would like to sit?
Just pretty much anywhere on open space in the couch. I'm not too worried about sitting near people. So I'll just like walk over to the couch and plop down in the nearest open spot.
Okay, so you're kind of big chilling, arms kind of stretched out there as Zahir, and then you can tell that Morello just kind of walks over and just sinks in the couch some as he's sitting on the left hand side as you kind of like the cushions kind of like start to shift you over, so you have to like readjust a little bit, but you're kind of just like big chilling still. About another minute or two goes by, and then you kind of hear like clanking of glasses, and kind of as he's like, "Oh, all right. So I have everything here." As at this point, Axoff does come back. He sets down this large kind of tray onto the coffee table. You see that there is So here I have tea. I have tea for those interested in that. I know a couple requested that.
Oh,
and then
yes.
And then he takes up one of the whiskeys. As he hands it over to you, Sir Denrick. He's like, "A whiskey for you."
Yeah. Thank you kindly, sir. I take it.
My tea.
Oh, I was like, "Are you?"
My tea. We're getting too meta.
As he hands over the whiskey, he kind of pours the tea for Morello and Morello and Zahir as he's like, careful with his hot still as he hands them over. Has those little and the dishware is also kind of fancier. It's weird. It's like a white plate, but it has like the what's the word? The lining of kind of the similar color to the actual rest of the estate as well, like the kind of orange red. So he hands a little plate over to you and the cup as well as you guys both take it, and then does pass water to you as well, Virden. So, at this point, he kind of steps back. He's like, and then also as well as he gestures over, then you can see that there's like a plate of kind of like beef jerky and like some bread for you, Morello. Kind of just like some dried meats that he was able just to kind of pull together real quick. And
thank you very much for the food and the drink, my friend.
Absolutely. So without kind of without kind of prolonging anything anymore, I am Axov. I am obviously the individual that is requesting the protection detail from the whole lot of you, and I will say I am actually thoroughly impressed with the turnout of how many it looks to some degree esteemed individuals. If you don't mind me asking, what are all of your skill sets? Because you all look very like the adventuring type. Then we can work left to right. So you you in the armor.
Oh, as I've said before, I am Sir Denric of Rodhelm, a knight of Weston in fealty to King Aenor the Just. I'm actually here on different business, but I figure this would be in addition to what I'm normally here for. I guess I've been in service to the king for quite a few years. I've done battle with quite a few bandits, and I would definitely be able to hold my own with whatever task we have at hand.
Well, I can tell from your armor, which is obviously a good thing, that it is obviously hardened in battle. Because I have seen some individuals who wear armor very flashy, but do not hold up very well, considering that they do not have dents or scratches in it. So I see that you are hardened, which is nice. Now, I want to say the Kingdom of Weston, that is just south of the Everreach, if I do recall correctly. Is that right?
Correct, sir.
Interesting. I think I've passed by. I've never actually made my way over there, but I have passed by the walls itself. So I might have to make a stop by there and say hello, maybe down the road at some point.
You would be more than welcome.
He kind of like nods approvingly, and then he shifts now over to Zahir.
I tend to be very magic oriented, and I mostly help people. Through everything I've done, I've helped villages rid themselves of various scourges of these forests. So I can hold my own, but I mostly help others.
Well, I'm certainly in need of assistance and help, so I'm glad that you are here. And I do, from what I hear and the things that I have come to find, I think that there will be plenty of creatures to be rid of along the Frost Trail, so it is nice to have you. You, scaly one.
I kind of.
Oh, go ahead.
Hang on,
Yeah, go ahead.
I kind of silently note what Zahir said, and I approve.
It's like in
You
the
see on your screen.
Yeah.
Sir Denric likes that.
as you kind of nod approvingly. Scaly one.
Morello cast Thaumaturgy for like a small fiery spirit that's smiling. It's like yellow fire. Well, you see, I am I guess, Warden of the Light. I have been traveling around and exploring ancient ruins for most of my life. Other than that, most of my skills on what I am hired on for is I keep people alive on jobs. So people like to keep me around.
Well, that's,
Being alive is good.
that is very good. I'm not going to lie. It seems thus far our lineup is very well spread, and so I'm very curious as he turns to you, Veerd, and hear about your skill set.
I'm a traveler. I get wherever I need to go. If you guys come with me, we'll all get there too. I'm a magic user, but not really much of a thing. I'm a sword user, not really much of a thing, but I get where I need to go. So figured I could help myself out getting there anyway.
You say you are a magic user. Both of you have said as you are. What sort of magic do you to use?
Regular
Mine has been gifted from the stars.
Yeah, I learned it like any other school child does.
I see.
I'm kind of like looking back and forth between them. Definitely kind of like fascinated by it because it's not something like I normally encounter, like just like magic users per se, but because it's like it's something I don't really. Obviously, I can't use it, so
Yeah, it's interesting to
interesting.
kind of. I think for you, it's interesting because you come from a place where obviously, like, magic's not super prevalent everywhere you go. There are mages and stuff in Weston, but for
Maybe like a
you,
court wizard and stuff like
yeah,
that, but
exactly. But
not.
for you, usually, like, a lot of the prowess and a lot of the expertise is of martial capabilities, and you've always you've excelled, and that's why you've become a knight, and that's what you are very good at what you do. So it's interesting to kind of be amongst other individuals where you can't necessarily compare your skill set martially, considering a lot of them are
Hmm.
casters. However, you did kind of take up the fact that Virden did say that he does use a sword, so you're kind of curious
Hmm.
as to how he
Yeah,
he
I
does
would say my
both.
sword is like like always very readily available too. So like my sword isn't hidden at all.
So yeah, exactly as well. So you kind of take a look, and then rapiers are interesting tools as well. So you know that generally aligns with like finesse or something of like kind of dexterity or elegance, and so you are kind of yeah, you kind of are curious as to how these abilities will be displayed down in the on the quest. So at which point Axoff's, well, very good, very good. Honestly, I think that we are, well, I'm not gonna lie. It was kind of a Hail Mary to some degree when I was posting those job flyers. I was hoping maybe we'd get one adventurer, maybe a couple hardy townsfolk of some sort, or at least maybe a band of, I don't know, a waft of them. But
Brothers.
the fact that the fact that I have four, it seems very capable adventurers is very beneficial, and I'm actually very pleased that you have all come to my estate and have made yourselves known to me. And just like it says on the flyer, I will be the payout of this excursion upon successful arrival to Snowstone itself will be 15,000 gold pieces, free to divvy up as you all see fit. Now I do want to go over kind of some logistics and kind of get an understanding as to kind of familiarize ourselves with each other. Obviously, we went over skill sets and whatnot. However, I do think that it is good to kind of get each other's understanding of Arctic climates and at least of the region. So, are any of y'all familiar with the White Whale Expanse? Have y'all been here long, or is this everyone's first time?
Um,
I
It I'm a first.
Okay, a first there.
I've been traveling around here, and I don't think I've been this far north, but I've been around the north for a while now.
Okay, so you have some understanding of the climates, but not necessarily of this particular region.
Yes.
Okay, easily enough.
what's the mountain range called?
The Everreach Peaks,
Everreach.
the Everreach Peaks, they're like one of the biggest boundaries from the White Whale Expanse in the north and a lot of the province division lines underneath, south of it. You do reside, Kingdom Weston does reside just south of kind of the trail end of the Everreach itself.
No, I have not. I've not been north of the Everreach Peaks, so I'm. It's quite the journey up here, and I am interested to take a look around. Even though it is the dead of winter and it is mighty cold here.
It is true. So we have three newcomers, and let me guess as he looks over to you, Morello.
am new as well. I've been in the mountains a lot of my life, but I've never been here before. I actually just got into town probably an hour or so ago.
Oh wow! So turnover for jobs is just like that then for you, eh?
There is always need for someone in my field and jobs, so it keeps me traveling and helps me with my research.
Well, at the very least, I mean, with that kind of being said, I will say, considering you just came off of your of a previous mission, I will say that my intention, just to give you all some time, considering a lot of you are newcomers, kind of get yourself familiarized with the town, maybe get some information itself, because I mean, I've done research, but I have not done, I do not know everything, so maybe you all can pick up things here and there that I might have missed. However, to kind of get the rundown of what I have planned out and mapped out and what I have discovered from other individuals, because I've lived in the White Whale for quite a number of years. However, I've never actually surmounted the feat of traversing the Frost Trail in the dead of winter. There are not very many that say they can, because it is obviously very foolhardy. It was kind of like I was already saying, it was kind of a Hail Mary to actually, post flyers and get a lot to the capability of all of you. So I do appreciate, and I hope that the gold that I am offering will be put to good use by all of you. So to kind of give some context, from here to not Whitestone, damn it. From here to Snowstone, it is about a roughly 170-mile journey. It will take us anywhere from about 7 to 10 days, depending on our pacing. Now, obviously, when it comes to pacing, I would like to be quicker than slower. Obviously, with slower, we can kind of keep more of a watch, but in my mind, if you run faster and you get out of the way of danger quicker, then there is no need to necessarily, need to know that the danger is there if you're already past it. So that is what I would prefer, but obviously, we are a group. We are all... I am by no means going to be the leader. I think that we'll all have judgment calls out there, and hopefully we can all just make it. Because at that point, I mean, y'all probably have plenty of experiences that you can bring to the table. So I'm hoping that with all of our knowledge, we can go ahead and overcome this obstacle. Now, there are a couple landmarks that we'll be using for shelter. There is about, I've been told, about a day or so, and I think I've seen this cave while traversing the actual the trail itself in the summer. There should be a cave or so about 100 feet north at the roughly 30-mile marker. That should be about at the end of the first day. So when we're actually out there, hopefully we can go ahead and take shelter in there. Excuse me.
Bless you.
We should be able to take shelter there at least for the first day. There will be plenty of times where we will have to take shelter out in the elements, which will be less than ideal, but it is what it is. So we have the cave. We also there is the ruins of they've been ruins ever since I've been here, and I've talked to people about them, and they've been ruins ever since they've been here as well. We're not entirely sure as to what they, who built them, or who attempted to civilize in the middle of the Arctic wastes. But I mean, they'll be useful enough for some shelter to some degree in some caliber. And then about the 135. Oh, and actually, the ruins are about 80 miles down the path. So that'll probably be our nightfall resting area around day 3 or so. And then
did he give a name for it, or just ruins?
They're just ruins. He didn't say specify them. And then at about 135 miles down the road, there is a frozen lake that in the summertime it obviously thaws out, and there is we use boats to get from one side of it to the other. However, obviously in the winter, no one is manning it because it is just used for transportation. So there will be some boats, kind of warehouses and buildings that we can shack up in before we make our trek across the actual frozen lake itself. The frozen lake should take us
130 miles.
135 miles to the frozen lake itself. The frozen lake should take us about a day to traverse. Obviously, it's going to be pure ice. It should be thick enough around this time of year. If it is not thick enough, we have much bigger problems. And then on the other side of the lake itself too, there should be some sort of some buildings that we can go ahead and use for shelter as well. And that is about it when it comes to the actual kind of points along the path that we have. Is there any questions thus far when it comes to the kind of the mapping of the trail itself?
So there would be a road if it wasn't covered in snow, correct?
Yes, it's not the best road. It's definitely not the best road. Even in the summertime, people do kind of, they try to repair it. They try to make repairs to it. It's kind of shitty stonework. It is not held up considering that it is not able to be maintained, and so a lot of the water runs off and erodes a lot of the stones from coinciding and connecting. But it should be, to some degree, it should be doable. It should not be as thick on the path itself than the exterior landscape.
Well, you seem to. I mean, you've lived here for years. What kind of stories are there of trouble that people have ran into on the road?
Well, I will say that there has been, obviously, the dead of winter, which, adds a lot of obscurities when it comes to a lot of things. I have not found anybody here that I talked to when I was doing my research that has traversed the pathway itself. at least in the dead of winter. No one has done that, that I met anyway. However, I know that there are plenty. I know that I'm sure y'all are familiar. I mean, I'm sure that y'all have them down there in Weston as well. There are winter wolves. They are much larger and they're much hardier than the standard kind of normal wolf. They have elements of kind of frost breath as a tool in their arsenal. There's packs of those that I know prowl amongst the trail. Large kind of heated insects. I do not know the name itself of what they are. I know there's yetis. There's a lot of things that they're weird. I don't remember the name off the top of my head, but they have superheated bodies, and so that they're able to reside in the Arctic climates. But they're like these large, massive insects. They're very
I've heard of a village that was decimated by one of those. It was.
Yes, they are not fun. I'm praying to the gods above that hopefully we do not run into anything along those lines. Something a little bit more in the realm of I guess humanoid, or at least of like intelligence. There are Goliath tribes that do roam along the White Whale as well. That is why a lot of times a lot of the holds, actually if not all of them, they all have walls, because things prowl. Goliaths are very hardy even in this weather, and there are frost giants that also prowl along the region itself. So let's just name a couple things.
Do you know if they're able to, if they're amicable?
Well, I would assume. I mean, I have heard that people talking to some of the tribes. I know that not necessarily every Goliath tribe is bloodthirsty. Some people have just been ransacked, like they weren't necessarily killed. They were just, asked to have their goods relinquished. It just kind of depends as to what the situation dictates. So.
I do speak giant, so if that is needed.
That absolutely would probably come in handy when it comes to parlaying with them.
I see Bearded raise his hand as well and just go down.
Do you speak giant as well?
I mean, yeah. It's not
Oh, well then.
a big thing, but yeah.
Even better. If one of you dies, then he kind of laughs. If one of you dies, then maybe the other can pick up the slack.
Yeah, if he dies, I'll do it for you.
Oh, this is good, because it seems like we can make many friends along the way, then. I kind of laugh. Chuckle a little bit.
We can be optimistic, but I do not find that very many things will be in our favor on this voyage. However, as long as we make the proper...
Sorry, Jared. Product placement, I got you.
Happy tastes good. I'm happy right now, but I can't taste anything.
Backwards.
So with that,
Anyway,
so I think that we will have our odds kind of stacked against us. However, preparations. I mean, all of this to be said that we obviously need to deal with the biting cold itself as well. Inclement weather, winds, snowstorms, all of it's probable. More than likely, I would actually be more surprised if we made our way through the actual whole trail and did not encounter something along those lines. So keep that in mind. I know that there. Continue. Yes, Denrick.
Well, like you said, not many travelers make this journey. So I suppose it would be probable that most things along the trail wouldn't expect us to be there. And that may play into our favor.
That is true. Now, that does actually make a good point, considering the fact that we will have some kind of concealment to some degree, considering that the highway is almost dead during the winter. So, I mean, I'd be very surprised if anything actually were to of intelligence attack us. But I have heard rumors that I have heard rumors. Sorry, I was making sure that audio is all good on the stream. I have heard rumors that the giants and the Goliaths, they do like to kind of prowl and search amongst the ruins. So I feel like if we need to be very careful when we take shelter there, because I don't know how extensive the ruins are. In the summertime, I never cared to go dungeon delving, but I know that they are pretty extensive, and they might hold treasures that these individuals might want, and maybe they find that wintertime is the best time to go because there's less individuals. But
Like a side quest to me.
I mean, and that's another thing too. I mean, I don't want to be out there any longer than we have to, but I mean, we are. It's thus far as he kind of spreads his hand across the group. I do feel like to some degree we are all of capable individuals, and so maybe we will have the time or at least the capabilities to side trek and see if we can discover anything additional.
Well, I've never fought a frost giant, but I suppose there's only one way to find out.
I mean,
I
think of the stories you'd be able to tell if you go back to Weston and say you've conquered a giant.
It wouldn't be the first. It wouldn't be the first sort of beast that I've slain.
Well, there we go. I will say, as I look across your guys' arsenal and armaments, I do not see that very many of you are prepared properly for this kind of weather. So I do recommend that you guys do make your way to a couple of these shops that I know in town that would get you outfitted just right. I know for a fact that if you want the finest winter clothes and kind of pieces of articles of clothing that will protect you in the cold, you'll want to go to Loveski's. Loveski's winter clothes and cloaks. I know that he is definitely stocked pretty full at this time of year, and I mean he keeps a pretty good selection along in his of wares. So if you go ahead and make your way down there, he's kind of closer to the southern portion of the city itself, kind of towards the stables.
Do you know if he would be able to maybe add insulation rather than just buying a whole piece?
He does everything. Honestly, he's an expert craftsman. He does anything from tailoring to making to whatever honestly you need. So
Excellent.
yeah.
Well, I appreciate your concern. That will definitely be my first stop.
Turn up pro bottle.
Do you know if there's a place here that has trinkets and just of any variety? Trinkets, baubles, doohickeys, doodads, any of it.
There are a couple of general stores that are around town, but if you do want to go to one that is a little bit more of the how do you say,
Exotic?
not necessarily exotic, but just more pizzazz, there is Scavenger's Goods Emporium. Scavenger is definitely an interesting individual, and so I think you'll find him rather fun to talk to. He doesn't have much when it comes to outside of the spectrum of a general store, but he has some additional things, and if you inquire, maybe he'll allude to them, and then you can purchase them yourself.
Excellent.
You say scavenger?
His name is Scavenger. It's a goblin.
Scavenger
Which is
General
interesting.
Goods.
Oh, well, I will have to see this.
It's a Scavenger's Goods Emporium.
After my last job, I'm running a bit low on the magical spell components. Would you happen to know somewhere where I could buy some of those?
What is your definition of magical implements?
Dried root, eye of bat.
Yes. Components, absolutely. Yeah, they're actually similar in your stature. There's a silver dragonborn named Bardaz, and he actually owns the Elixirs and Brews. It's an alchemy shop that you should be able to find everything that you need.
I think Virden hearing the dried roots and eyes of a bat, like at first thought you're gonna recommend a kitchen, and then hearing like, oh, it's Spellcraft, I was like, this place is weirder than I thought.
I like it. Yeah, you're like, oh, wait.
Snacks.
I like that. It's good stuff. On like this.
And what of mounts for our journey? Because I would not be keen to take this distance on foot, and I do not believe my horse would be able to make it through this.
No, that's
tundra.
No, absolutely not. And honestly, the only reason why your horse probably actually made it was more than likely because the path from Shaldorn Fortress to actually Grimtoll is probably cleared at this time of year, I'm assuming.
It was fairly clear.
It should be maintained, which is good. Which is honestly, hey, shout out to those individuals who break their backs every winter to make sure that we all can transport along the highway. I'm sure it does not pay the best, but it is much needed. So, and he kind of raises his whiskey.
U.S.
He's
Forest
like,
Service.
to them, kind of just takes a sip.
I
Yeah.
raise my water in kind.
Yeah.
Water.
I'll raise my tea.
Yes.
Shout out to them. Now, if only they would outsource enough to be able to clear the Foch Trail in the winter, then maybe we could actually start getting somewhere. But I'll take what I can get. Now, if you're talking about mounts, Gusev's ox stables. He is you probably I'm sure you probably already saw the stables itself there, Sir Denric, when you when you put your horse up for the for your duration of time here.
Oh, yes.
He kind of has his areas sectioned off. You probably saw where he keeps a lot of his horses. However, he does sell Walian oxes. I want everyone go ahead and make a history check or a lore check. I like the lore term better, so lore, history, same thing.
Well, that is a natural one.
Excellent.
You're just like, cool.
History,
This dice is retired for the evening.
21.
12.
Yeah, 12 as well.
12. What'd you get?
21.
21. The person who is not of this one.
Well, my guy
does not care?
reads, you know?
I am good at this one. I read.
Oh, that is true. So, I would say that it is fairly. Let's see. I would say. Yeah, I would say the DC wasn't very hard considering it's kind of public knowledge and just kind of being exposed. So Walian, so he mentions Walian ox, and you, all three of you reading books, Virden, Sir Dunrick, you having kind of close proximity to the Everreach and kind of the northern areas. You do kind of get some trickling of people every once in a while because that's like the first stop, kind of south, is the Kingdom of Weston. So, and then you just kind of you kind of on your travels, as I hear you guys kind of all pick this up. So Walian is kind of what the is kind of like the what's the word? The demographic of people that live in the White Whale Expanse. They're called Walian. And Walian oxes are basically just from your interpretation, you understanding the kind of the culture is probably just like a regional specific kind of breed of ox. And then also the dialect that they have up here is also called Walian, which is kind of what the accent that he has currently. So that's just something kind of for your little knowledge nugget of lore for y'all.
Knowledge.
So
Oh.
I'm gonna take my Lamborghini down the White Whale Expanse, the Frost Trail.
So with that, he says they sell Walian oxes. Essentially, you probably did not run into them, but essentially, if you know what the dire anything is, basically it's a dire muskox. If you know what the muskox is, it's just the Walian ox is just a massive, kind of 1.5, almost 2 times the size rideable ox that a lot of people use in the wintertime to traverse, amongst the various regions and go hunting and do different things. They are very hardy creatures, and they are very well adapted to the cold. And so generally, honestly, we will probably have to worry more about ourselves than actually the ox themselves when we go on this journey. I myself already have one. I went to Gusev's, and so you probably all will more than likely need to go procure one yourself. He should still have plenty of stock. I mean, he's one of the major breeders and sellers of these oxes. So
How much is it for the ox?
generally, he sells them around 100 gold pieces.
Thank you. I
There-
will make sure to put away
And-
enough.
Of course, yes.
If this is mandatory, would you be able to front some of that?
I will not personally be fronting any money. I sadly have, regretfully to inform is just the fact that I feel like once you get your payout, then you'll be easily compensated for the couple of investments that you will have to acquire in order to make this journey. So unfortunately, I will not be assisting in the appropriation of things, but I'm hoping that the 15,000 gold at the end of this whole thing should, hold you over, and any expenses will be covered eventually at the end of it.
Understandable.
Fair enough.
Now, also, just keep in mind, I know you, Sir Denric, you did say that you have brought a horse here. The Walian oxes, they are very hardy creatures, and so their carrying capacity is much greater than most horses, even war horses to some degree. So obviously, do not go buying any crazy furniture or anything insane, but obviously feel free to get the necessary requirements to order to make this journey.
I will certainly do that.
I'm trying to think. One of the nicest establishments that we have when it comes to lodging here is we have the Hearthfire Inn. It is one of the largest ones. It's kind of towards the center of the actual of the hold itself. I recommend there if you're going to, be staying here, since we're going to be staying here for a couple more days. However, that one's pretty expensive, so if you would like to go for something a little cheaper, there is the Summer's Warmth Inn that is also kind of located in that general facility a little bit more to the west.
Well, thank
Alright.
you very much.
But for the details that when it comes to details or anything, is there anything else that you might require? If not, then we can conclude our discussion, and hopefully we can start making good headway in preparations for departing.
And how? I apologize if you've already answered this, but how long until you plan on having us set out?
I would like the earlier the better. I've obviously been preparing for the last couple of days. I've been gathering all of my things, but this is the first time that y'all are actually have been in this region, and I think that it is probably be, I think that this, having y'all be the first, this is your first time in the region. I think that, sorry, I lost my train of thought.
You're good.
Oh, yeah. I would like to leave anywhere between the next 3 to 5 days. I think 3 to 5 days is reasonable, especially for those of that need to potentially line their equipment or get anything like that together. Then I think that will be enough time. I know Loveski, he does very good work, and he does it fairly quick. And if you just tell him, obviously we are on a name by name basis. So if you go ahead and tell him that Axel is has sent to you, I'm sure that he can go ahead and probably prioritize any jobs that you have.
Excellent.
Perfect, thank you.
Do any of the other establishments around here know of you?
I would say, honestly, Loveski knows me, but I would say that I don't really make my rounds too much over to the to anywhere else that they would actually know of who I am. So sadly, I do not have a whole lot of pull. Actually, if you do mention to Scavenger that we are compatriots on a journey, then I'm sure that he probably will be able to help you out as well. Me and Scavenger, we get along.
Okay.
And where should we meet before we set out?
I would say that I will be at my estate. I'll be here, obviously, finalizing some last-minute travel details and just getting things packed and organized. And so I think that I should be here for the most part pretty consistently, especially in the evening times. I'll make sure I'm here. So as you guys, gather your things, just let me know, kind of keep me updated on the timeline, and we will go ahead and adjust as needs be.
Well, for now, do we want to meet back here not tomorrow, but the day after, early in the morning?
How
I
early?
guess we could.
How early are we talking? Because I do not want to be up too incredibly early, unless you're talking about mid-morning.
Well, I was talking in the morning because if we are leaving, we would want most of the daylight with us, would we not?
Well, are you planning to have?
Well, I think we should just check back in then, see if everyone's ready.
Yeah, I think that we should have a check-in time that obviously will allow us to kind of have. We should have a check-in time, and then we'll have a departure time. At that check-in time we are not all ready to go, then I think we'll go ahead and make we'll push the days and we'll have another check-in. But I would think that it'd be best if we check in, say that we're all ready to go, and then go ahead and set an actual departure time itself.
That works for me.
That is ideal, yes.
Oh, I would say our timetable is mainly dependent on how long it takes for our clothing to be winterized. So I kind of gestured towards everyone. Um, should we all go there at the same time, and we can kind of get a time frame as to when to meet back here? That way, nobody's kind of waiting around
That
for days
sounds
on
good
end.
to
That was my idea. Is we could get all those in, and then while we're waiting, we can conduct other
Sure,
business.
Percival. I was
Let's see
thinking
how-
we could get, or at least I was going to get layouts after we got our lining. That seemed like the two most important things to make sure we put Quara first.
Nice.
Frankly, I was gonna get my mount first, but if you insist, I'll go with you so we can all figure out our armor timetable. Then I'll go check out what we're gonna be riding out into the waste.
If you would like, I could also go get a mount with you, and then we could go get warming for
Well,
lining
no,
afterwards.
I think the knight here has a good point. We all know when all our stuff will be done at one time isn't a bad way to go about it. So
Alright,
I agree. Let's go check out our clothes first, then we can go car shopping. Well, horse shopping. Well, ox shopping.
You got there eventually.
Shall we then?
Or you say, I do not know of this iron steed.
Yeah, you need to travel more.
I will.
Yes, to get out of Metro City.
Horseless
Is
carriage.
that what they call carts over where you come from?
Cards without the T.
I will go. I will go ahead and make this known now. We do not have the. This lot of the stores, they will not be open at this point in time. A lot of the stores do close around sundown, and so you'd probably have to go ahead and make your way over to these various shops tomorrow morning of some caliber. So I would say at this point, just make find yourselves some lodging for the evening, and then partake in any nightlife that you all enjoy. And I guess we'll meet up in a couple days from now.
That sounds good. I finish up my tea, I set it down. Well, I would like to thank you for your hospitality then, and if we are just looking for lodging for the night, I will start to head on my way.
Absolutely, of course. Anything last minute for the good of the group from anybody, or any questions that you might have for me?
I suppose not on my end. I guess we'll see you day after tomorrow in the morning. We'll give you an update then.
Easily enough.
I mean, as of right now, it seems you have covered most of the bases. I think we will kind of get established for our journey.
Excellent.
Yes, I would like to begin preparing.
Well, easily enough. Well, I appreciate, once again, I do appreciate that all of you have taken the time to assist me on this voyage. Like I said, I'm very grateful to see all of you very capable individuals to be escorting me. I feel like I'll be in safe hands, but we will all be in each other's safe hands, considering that out there it is a little bit different than just your average brigands and bearers of sorts down you see in the southern regions. So I think we'll be all right, and I guess there's no time like the present to get started. So I'll see you guys in the next. As he kind of at this point starts to walk around the couches and make your way to the front doors. You guys kind of all stand up and make your way, kind of following in tandem.
Sure.
He opens the door. Kind of gestures.
Can I ask one question real quick? Reading the flyer, did the flyer say what we were moving?
No.
What was the purpose of the caravan?
Nope. It only said protection detail.
Okay.
Did not
Then
specify.
in that case, I'm gonna hang back a little bit, let everyone else leave.
Okay.
Kind of like, yeah.
As I walk to the door, I'll grab my whole adventuring pack and sling it over my
pick it back
shoulders.
up. Pick it back
I'll grab
up.
my dragon bone, my dragon clawed pipe, and I'll use a minor part of my fire breath to kind of light that and puff off into the distance of the night with the light spell cast in front of me and that same fiery spirit to light my way.
Sounds good. Excellent. as you don your
Because
stuff and make
we-
your way
A
out.
one-man per session making his way out the door.
So we all exit.
So at this point, Morello has exited. Zahir, is there anything you want to do? Or are you good?
As I've come in here, has anyone recognized me? With my folk hero background, would I have like any sort of name here?
I would say this far north, not necessarily. You're kind of isolated from a lot of the. This is your first time kind of leaving the actual province itself, of Roek. So I would say that you kind of are pretty much kind of far out of your territory of any understanding. And not to say necessarily word hasn't come yet, but you are pretty far north, and no one has like outwardly been like, "Hey, I know you," or has shown any recognition. Obviously, there you do get you catch some glances every once in a while, but you're not nothing.
It could just be because of
Yeah.
looking strange.
Yeah, you're a particularly unique individual. So
Okay.
as you make your way out as well, I know Virden. Are you like at the door, or did you like stay seated in the actual place?
I didn't
stay-
stay.
or
Like I
stayed.
kind of walked up, but I stayed. Like I made it like kind of like I was kind of like hanging back. Like I didn't even like. I haven't walked past him yet. I'm like kind of in that kind of coat room,
Okay.
like ready to leave, but like hanging back.
And then to Denrick, what are you doing?
Zahir and Morello, are you guys out on the porch or?
Actually, yes.
I have, since you
I'm gonna be
walked
looking around immediately outside for some loose stones. Because there's probably not gonna be much open ground when we're out on the field. Are there any loose stones? Loose stones around? Maybe as a rock garden?
Hey,
He's gonna rob the man's rock garden. Koi pond or something. I could
hold
really
on
just.
one sec. I'm coming back. Okay.
Like for like a sling?
You'll see.
So you're looking for stones on the ground.
Yeah, loose throwable stones.
Hey, yo, thanks for your hospitality. Just shatters a window immediately.
A brick? Well, not
Just-
like
Just
not
thanks.
like not full fist bricks, but just like something you would use in a sling. Yeah.
So,
Go ahead and
so
make a
we're out
perception
on-
check. Are you like checking on the porch? Or are you checking off like in the yard? Or are you checking on the street?
I'm looking everywhere.
Okay, so go ahead and make a perception check as you're kind of exiting and leaving.
21.
21. Sounds good. Let me just one sec. Give me a second.
This is the foundation of this dude's house.
Just the whole subfloor comes up.
Morello, are you standing out there with us?
I am.
Are you watching this guy scavenge this yard?
I am
Just
kind of
digging
taking
through the
notice,
snow like a golden
it.
retriever.
but I am more set on my path.
Okay.
Where do you plan on residing tonight?
Your mom's.
Well, I wanted to check out the Hearthfire Inn, but if that was too expensive, then I was going to make my way to the Summer's Warmth, since he said that would be a more affordable option.
Okay.
And I will
Um,
eventually make my way to the cheaper option as well. The Summer's Warmth, I think, is what you said.
As you guys are
well,
kind of
I was-
discussing, hold on, just real quick. As you guys are kind of talking and you guys are kind of making your way down the steps, you're looking around. You don't find anything immediately when it comes to a stone, like in the, because it's just like the snow covers the yard. However, as you get to the street itself, there are like kind of piles of snow kind of pushed off to the sides and stuff. You do manage to go ahead and kind of glance around, pick up a rock. You find one of
Oh,
note.
I'd like to gather a sizable amount, like 15 to 20.
All right, you're just like talking to these guys, and you're like,
as
as you-
we're going, I'm gonna be spying around.
yeah. As you were talking,
what exactly are you doing, Zahir?
Oh, I can enchant these and use them as missiles.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
That'd be-
You can
Maybe
Maybe it's
fair
U.S.
enough.
foreign policy, this fucking D&D chat.
Missiles is any projectile. This isn't
Sure.
U.S. military missiles.
well, I mean,
Sure, that's what they all
fair enough,
say.
but I just don't know if Axel would take too kindly of us rummaging around his yard.
We're well past them. I couldn't find any in there anyway.
All right.
Well, I'm sure
Well,
this Z will help
And
you a lot.
I can give these to anyone for them to use.
To be fair, he is picking them up like off the street. Like y'all made your way off of his property and like closed the gate
Like,
behind
I was
you.
looking, but I couldn't find any.
Yeah.
before we made the way off the property, I wanted to say to Morello and Zahir, I plan on going to the Hearthfire Inn, and I will meet you guys either there or first thing in the morning at
Levesky's.
Levesky's. I'm going to hang back and wait for Muterden.
Just keep. Oh, just one point in order, Todd, for you or for Oh, I said your name and then I forgot your character's name.
He is Sir Denrick.
Denrick. Okay.
Well, I just wanted to say that to them like while we were on the porch. So I was like waiting on the porch. Because I know that Muterden hung back, but I'm not like going back in there.
Okay. Well, for you to see him picking up stones and asking about the stones, you'd have to have been down on the street. So I'll say that you kind of made it to the street. You kind of said, "Hey, ball," you said your piece, and then you'll walk back through.
Okay, I came right outside the gate then. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Well, he said he wanted to look for the stones when we said we were on the porch. So I thought he was looking for them in the yard.
I was.
And Vanek proceeded to the street.
And then we went to the
Just
street.
ripping out the cobblestones.
Not that heinous.
How big can you make the magic missiles? Magic trebuchet?
I mean, you just throw them.
Missile?
Sorry, getting a bunch of different things going
Fair
on.
enough.
Okay. So
And you don't even have to be good at throwing them.
okay, so you're gonna go to the Hearthfire, and then you two are gonna go to the Summer's Warmth, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, but I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna
wait at
go
the
to the
gate for
Hearthfire
you.
first.
Okay, and then you're gonna see kind of what the pricing is, and then you're gonna
What
go.
the pricing is.
Okay,
Yeah,
sounds.
I do have
be,
some cash from my last job, so
I will say just to kind
I'll
of
be
just.
right back.
Okay, sounds good. I will say just for you, Morello, I will go ahead and add another 100 gold because we'll just say that'll cover the cost or the payment that you got today from your completion.
that sounds good.
Okay.
He's walking around with a fat stack of gold. I have 1,000 even now.
Let's go. Nice.
Bro, straight cheating.
Hacking. So at this
my
point,
backstory, could I have done a job too?
hey, look, it's a cat.
Hey, if you
Oh,
want
he's
some
back.
money, Z clerics always get paid
um,
an
yeah.
unholy amount for some reason.
So at this-
so-
Unholy amount for a holy person.
yes, sir.
So at this point, as everyone else has kind of made their way off the porch as the door's kind of held open, Aksov kind of seeing you stopped, he kind of closes the door and kind of takes a step. You guys are he kind of takes a step back into the actual hallway. You're kind of still in the coat room itself, he's kind of in the interior, kind of at the door still, and he's like, yes, Verdun, is there anything that you need in addition?
Yeah, I just kind of I kind of make sure everyone's more or less out of earshot. Like, not like making sure they're miles, but just a bit out of earshot.
Yeah.
But I just say to him, it's like, I can trust you haven't disclosed what you're moving, so you're not going to tell us what you're moving.
He kind of smirks.
And without him saying anything, it's like, all I'll say is, a safe secret's a secret shared. I can only hide things for you if you tell me what I need to hide. Your business is your own. Just making sure that's said. And with that, like, I'll nod and make my way out.
Oh,
Like,
so make a persuasion check
sure, yeah.
to see if he like says anything as you start to leave.
That's a nat 20, my friend.
Let's
That
go.
is a fucking
Let's
nat
go. Okay, shit.
Dude, gotta keep the red die.
Okay, shit, man. Okay, literally, damn, that was very difficult. But I guess he kind of smirks and he kind of is like, wait, and you kind of go to the door and kind of is like,
I think when he says wet, I go like, holy shit, that worked. And then like, kinda turn-
yeah, you're like, oh. And so anyway, you seem like a very kind of inward person, so I do not feel like you would gossip too much about anything that I disclose to you now. And he kind of crosses his arms. I will not say much, considering that obviously knowledge that is not shared cannot be distributed. Obviously, considering that what I am about to say is very needs to be kept close to your chest. However, it's not so much necessarily something that I am transporting physically, but more information that I am transporting, and information that is kind of that is going to be very valuable to some other individuals at Snowstone. So, if you're worried about anything necessarily,
Keep you and your... Yeah, I get it. That's a lot less weight to carry, so that works.
I say necessarily. I will not specify any more than that, but I do not say it is not necessarily something that we are physically carrying. But that is all I will say.
I appreciate you sharing that much. Hacks off. And good night, and I'll see you day after tomorrow.
Easily enough. You have a good night, Verdun. As he opens the door again, gestures you out.
I think as I walk out of his house, I do clean my boots.
Okay, you're like as he kind of gives you a curious glance. As I don't know whether you look back or not, you can kind of feel he doesn't like immediately shut the door. You can kind of hear as you're walking away, the door doesn't. You don't hear it close immediately, and you're kind of like he's probably looking at me, and then you hear the click and then you can hear like the locking of the various things.
There is a sense of like personal gratification knowing it took a minute for him to close the door. It's just like I confused the fuck out of him. Like he doesn't know if that's a ritual. He doesn't know. I'm just being a dick. He doesn't know.
With a natural 20, damn. Okay.
That was fucked up. Yeah. I wasn't ready for that.
I wasn't ready for that either. But as you make your way down the steps and eventually the door does close, you see Denrick. He is waiting for you at the gate.
Oh, then I think I see him as like, hello, Sir Denrick. You need something?
You're muted. You're muted, man. You're muted.
Okay.
Oh, we didn't need IT. We're good. We're doing good.
Bearden, I would like to invite you to join me at the Hearthfire Inn. Drinks are on me.
Oh, it's been a while since I had a drink. I'm sure my stomach can take one or two. I appreciate the offer. I know I can be a little awkward on first meeting, so yeah, I'll come with.
Figured we would be traveling together, so we might as well get to know each other.
All right, sure.
Morello said he may reside at the Hearthfire, but it may be a little more expensive than he anticipated. And Zahir will be at the Summer's Warmth. And I got with them, and we were going to meet at Lovesky's first thing in the morning.
Okay. Yeah. Then I guess I'll follow you to
that works for you.
Yeah, I'll follow you to Hearthfire, and maybe I'll end up meeting up with Zahir at Summer's Warmth, depending on prices. But we'll see. Want to make sure I have enough money for everything we need to start this caravan.
Fair enough. Well, I have plenty of gold, so if we for whatever reason that our group needs provisions for traveling and they are finding themselves wanting, I'd be more than welcome to help you.
I'll do what I can with what I have, but if something comes up, something that I feel like I need, I suppose I'll let you know.
It's just an offer. You don't have to or feel obligated to.
Are we at this point making our way towards the?
Yeah, we're walking towards the Hearthfire.
Yeah, is your sword exposed right now? Can I see it?
Oh yeah, it's just at my side.
Yeah, think of that because I'll look it over and
He reaches for his service pistol.
Jared, I'll ask you. Can I tell that it's clearly magical?
You reach for his service pistol.
I'm not reaching for I'm not dying over a Beretta, dude.
Yo, me handing my wallet, he like rips up his shirt and like flings. Here, officer. Yeah, here you go, officer.
I mean, I can describe it if you want.
Yeah, if you don't mind, but can I tell looking at it that it's a mask?
Is it a full scabbard that's like sheathed completely?
Yeah, yeah.
then there's no way you'd be able to discern it's magical.
Okay. Well,
However,
I guess
if you want to go ahead and look at describe the guard and the pommel, you can, Todd or Denrick.
Okay. Well, yeah. So like the sheath is the scabbard is kind of like a dark brown, it's ornate. It has like some inscription on it, and the hilt is like intricate. Not like crazy fancy. It's still functional. But the pommel is a lion, and it has jewels encrusted in the eyes, and it is gold.
Oh, then I think with that being a notable enough sword, I would ask you about it. So, like, that's a impressive looking blade you're carrying. Do you mind if I take a look at the full thing? I don't need a.
Oh yes,
You know,
this.
like, I understand you don't need to hand me the sword or anything, you know. But...
Oh, for sure. This is the sword of heroes. It was passed down to me from King Aenor as he knighted me in his circle of champions, and I draw it.
Let's go. Let's get it.
So I draw
My
it,
immersion.
I kind of hold it kind of in two hands, and I kind of hold it out to him. Not like handing it to you, but I
Yeah,
kind of
but
like I hold it.
display it. Yeah.
As you
Yeah. So what type of sword is it?
real quick,
like
hold on. As you and you kind of turn, you face it. You do like see like a guard that you didn't know that was like kind of like approaching from your back right flank, kind of walk by and kind of like stops, and is like, "That's a very nicely clefted blade." At this point, as you're like describing it to him, this guard like walks over this torch and is like eyeing it as well, and is like
it's being lit by torchlight of a random dude.
yeah, it's like
walks by.
it's like shimmering under the firelight as he's like, very impressive.
Yeah, and then so I would say like the blade is kind of is like inscribed with wording, and it says courage, honor, and like loyalty. And like that's down the blade, and it's definitely shinier or like and more, I guess, than like a normal sword. Yeah. I say this is a weapon that has been passed down for many generations in the Knights of Weston. It has been entrusted to me. I kind of look it over.
Yeah, I think I take time to admire the sword and look at like the clear beauty in it, and then I think I do think I would at least take some notice of the fact that I see you also admiring your own sword,
as well as this guard who's like,
yeah,
holy shit!
Yeah, it's
wow.
like
I think the guards kind of do. I think I do put the cowl a little bit further along, just like fucking dudes. Like, come on.
This is very impressive.
It's like a large hand and a half sword.
Damn,
It's like
alright.
a long sword.
Oh yeah, it's almost like a bastard sword type thing. Like
Yeah.
cool.
Anyway,
versatile property.
as the guard fucks up.
Oh, yeah. Well, I think the long sword itself has versatile.
Oh, gotcha.
Anyway, I sheath the sword.
Yeah, appreciate it. That's looks like a handy blade. Probably damn near more expensive than any other piece of equipment on this here journey. I'd keep that as safe as possible.
Well, I would not imagine selling it.
No, that's not what I meant. Just
or losing it.
Yeah, that is what I meant.
Well, we should make our way towards the hearth fire. It is growing growing late in the night.
Sure, yeah. Probably down the
And I
hearth
could
fire.
use a drink and a hearty meal.
So as you during this time, is there anything? Because Zahir and Morello, are you both going to the Summersworth?
There's absolutely nothing else open. Is that correct?
You would assume besides taverns, then yes, nothing else would be open at this time.
Okay, yeah, then I'm heading there.
Okay, are you and Morello
as I
going
go.
together?
Zahir, would you like to come to the house fire? It is a bit nicer, I have heard, and I do not mind helping pay for a room for the night.
If you're willing, then absolutely.
So all I ask in return is you share a meal and a drink with me.
Oh, I would love to.
So then let us make our way there.
Yes.
So with that, as some time goes by, eventually the first group, Denric and Virden, you guys kind of held back a little bit. So to hear you and following the directions, to hear you and Morello, you guys both eventually find the hearth fire, and it's fairly easy to distinguish because it is a massive kind of central building in the middle of this hold, and it sticks out fairly easily. It's about 4 stories tall, and it's very large, and it has kind of intricate kind of overall building kind of layout. As you can see that there's like sections for different wings and different things. Like it's not just like a large rectangle. It's like got protrusions from different sides to allude to a handful of different sections of the actual place itself. It's like if like today was in a modern day hotel, like a 4 or 5 star hotel. Very nice. You can tell that it's kind of similar in construction when it comes to the wood material of coloring with the interior of Axel's place. However, there's more twinges of yellow than there is red. It's like red it's yellow and orangish more, as you can kind of see as it kind of as it stands far beyond a bunch of these other buildings. You can see that it also has a lot of buildings, and you do recognize a lot of buildings here are either all stone or wood and stone kind of blended, just because of the climate and just the weather and stuff. And so it is very rare to have a building primarily constructed of wood, which Axov's his house was primarily constructed of wood, which is interesting. So there are like kind of support beams and different like stone etched into the building itself and the structure, and just to like give it supports and just like it's really all elegantly comes together to make this amazingly beautiful inn, kind of more like a hotel at this point. You see that the entrance does kind of have like an overhang, kind of comes out about 30-40 feet over it. At which point there is in fact an individual, a nicely dressed man, kind of as you guys both approach it and kind of admire this whole thing. He does open the door and kind of gesture inside.
I'll say thank you to him and then walk on in.
Thank you, my son.
Welcome to the Hearthfire. As you guys both make your way in, the interior space is pretty amazing. As you walk in, you see that there off to like the right hand side, there's a lot of like kind of open space where there's you know how like in Barnes and Noble they have like those central like kind of hearths that like have like chairs 360 around them. They have 2 or 3. They have 3 of those kind of scattered or off to the side. Kind of in this large open space where you can kind of individually read, or there's like kind of some tables you can go to, but there's multiple hearths down here to warm up and just kind of spend your time. There's some bookshelves kind of scattered around there so that you can kind of kind of take some luxury, some downtime activities, or read a new book or something. Kind of farther past a lot of this open space, you can see there's a little bit of a nook. What's up?
I said play a tabletop game.
Yeah, you can play a great fantasy RPG.
Hey.
Kind of past.
I'd like to start a campaign with the people here.
And the party just keeps getting smaller with different DMs within the DM. So it's like I'm the DM, and then someone else is the DM, and then they do. And then it's just
Inception.
Yeah.
But there's
Your
like
character dies 3 levels deep.
there's just past a lot of this kind of open spacing in these hearths. You do see like a little nook that has what appears to be some sort of like games kind of set out, like a dartboard's kind of hanging up in some various things, and then kind of see, and then there's like it's all carpeted, and so the carpet kind of stretches out in front of you, and then about probably 80 to 100 feet down, the carpet kind of veers off to the left, as the carpet covers kind of stone on the left hand side, and then it's all carpeted on the right hand. So off to the left hand side, it kind of etches down, cuts left, and there's a front desk off to the left hand side. And then just beyond still, you see like the large staircase that kind of that you would utilize to get up to the different floors, and then you can see that there's a handful of different like double doors or doors off to the farther portions of this area that probably lead to other wings.
We get a filet mignon steak, dude.
Yes, it is very impressive. And it's a little bit weird to have something so luxurious in such a hospitable environment, but then you know you kind
Yeah.
of think that over.
Then you
and,
see the ski lifts.
but then
The
you, but then but
Seasonal Yeti hunts.
you figure something needs to attract individuals to this portion of the world. So you figure that it's kind of makes sense. So
Are there like mounted heads? Like hunting is a thing that is commonly done here.
yeah, over some of the hearths, there are and like so like the stairs is kind of so as you're walking in, right? You guys are at the front. Off to the right hand side, there's a lot of like the hearths and a lot of like the kind of just common area. As you walk down, the stairwell is kind of in the middle of this whole like flooring, and there's and the stairwell itself has a lot of nice like kind of stonework, and on the stairwell kind of facing the door you can see a bunch of different heads of like a all white and like kind of grayish wolf head, and then just some other creatures as well, some like a massive elk, and with a ginormous kind of rack, a massive rack on its head, and just a
Is
lot
there
of
anything like crazy, like past just regular?
Go ahead and make a perception check for me. Oh yeah, cat on the stream. Let's go.
Natural
really?
20.
Natural 20.
28.
Holy damn.
Dude, watching combat when we get nothing but fours.
I will say that there is this kind of there's a head of and it appears that its eyes were gouged out as you, and this one is like kind of high up, like someone had to get a ladder and probably mount this up on. This is probably about like maybe 20 feet up. And you can see that it's just like this kind of it's fairly large kind of lizard like head with like bluish or different tints of blue kind of around the skin of it, as it is kind of like stuck into one of the mounts itself. Eyes kind of gouged out, kind of rows of teeth kind of like half open. Go ahead and make a nature check. Go ahead and make a nature check for me.
Nature. Have you ever rolled a nature check before?
Maybe once.
Yeah.
Maybe.
13.
Something tells me it's gonna
13.
keep coming up.
I would say you don't know what this
Oh, I
creature
mean,
is.
How big is it? Is it like
It's probably about like the head's probably about like.
huge.
Can you see this like about this big?
yeah? Okay. Damn. All right.
Yeah.
Is that like the only like crazy thing?
Oh
or
yeah,
just, like,
a
the one?
lot of the other ones are kind of just like like elks. There's like a big ass bear, but yeah, it's a lot of just kind of
Okay.
more like. Usually,
regular game.
a lot of people are regular folk, and so you think that a lot more of the hardier creatures or more terrifying creatures, they're probably more victims of. They're probably more people that are victims to them than vice versa. So,
Okay.
what would you like y'all to do?
Todd and I are not there yet.
Not yet, no.
Yeah.
I
Gotcha.
would like to walk up to the tavern keep. Hello.
It's like a nicely dressed it's kind of like a nicely dressed woman behind the desk. She has kind of like a long dress that goes down to a little bit past her knees. As you walk up to the desk, she's like, yes, what can I do? What can I help the two individuals with?
Well, we are going to want some food and some drinks and somewhere to rest for the evening, but I was actually curious about this tavern, if you wouldn't mind answering a few questions for me.
So it is an inn. It's like it's an
I-
inn.
I apologize.
It is actually an inn, but what questions might you have?
I just recently got into town, but I could not help but notice this was the nicest place in town by a long while. What happens here that draws so much attraction for this building to be as nice as it is?
Well, I would like to say that Grimtoll, the Grimtoll hold is actually one of the closest, at least in the province of Roek itself. It is one of the closest holds that you can get past the Everreach, and so a lot of individuals like to come this far north. Generally, more in the fall regions or summertime, when there's a lot of elegant game that is out. There's no better game than in all of Rwek, or probably all of Wolverine itself, than the north of the Everreach, because of how little there is of actually interaction between civilization and the wilds. And so a lot of people come up here for big game hunting and just to kind of explore this portion of the lands. And so our owner decided to invest in Grimtoll and establish the Hearthfire, which is very, very popular. Not so much in the dead of winter, but come springtime and come summer, there are a lot of individuals here.
Speaking of game, do you happen to know what that creature is? And I'll point at the crazy looking one.
Let's see. She has to make a perception check. It's pretty far up there. I would say she kind of squints. Oh, the lizard, the blue lizard. That is a basilisk.
Oh.
Hey, yo.
Yeah, that was brought in. I want to say a couple, 2 or 3. I want to say falls ago. As that was brought in by an individual. I do not remember the name. The plaque has the name and everything inscribed onto it, but that is.
Have you heard any stories of any more recently?
A basilisk themselves?
Yes.
I know the basilisks. They have been heard to. Actually, let me go and make her roll. Let's see. Oh, nice, 15. So basilisks, they do. Occasionally, they are found hiding in the ruins along the actual frost trail itself. They do like to every once in a while take up shack there, and some people come across them. Come these warmer months of the year, there tends to be sadly some petrified individuals that did not, let's just say, fare so well against the creatures themselves.
Are there any other folk tales, mysterious creatures?
There are folk tales of these things called. Let me pull up the book for you.
Yay!
Let me just show you a photo. I'm just kidding. They are called remorazes. If you've heard of them, they are fire-blooded, warm-blooded. Well, I don't want to say warm-blooded. They are fiery inside, and I've heard that they are these large insects that superheat their bodies, and they are just absolutely lethal when it comes to interactions that they have with travelers.
That's what they're called.
Remorazes.
There was also a tale of Goliaths and giants upon the mountains. Would you happen to know anything about them, or would anyone in the town?
I do know that there are Goliaths and there are giants when it comes to the tribes that do wander the white whale itself. I have heard of instances that people do get their caravans ransacked during the summer times and during a lot of the warmer times of the year, when there are a lot more people actually using the frost trail and making their way to the east, to Snowstone and to the other neighboring holds. But I've not really heard anything necessarily specific other than the fact that they have occurred.
Well, thank you for the information.
Yes, thank you.
How much would some meals, some ale, and rooms for the night cost us?
So for rooms for the night, it will go ahead and be. Well, it depends on what kind of room are you looking. Are you looking for Are you looking for the kind of the more cost-effective side of the hotel, or are you looking for a little bit of in between? Or are you looking for the high-end sections, like the suites that we have?
Either the low end or the in between.
So our low end is going to be 8 gold pieces a night, and if that is good for both of you.
Are you wanting to share a room? Morello?
Yes, are we able to get rooms together?
Um, yes, we can get you one of the rooms that has 2 beds. That way you can both go ahead and check out together and split the cost. That is much more better use of your hard-earned cash.
So, if we could get a room together, we will do one a little bit nicer than one of the middle tier rooms.
One of the middle tier rooms will be 15 gold pieces a night.
Perfect. And then
Alright.
how much for food and a round of ale?
Would you like that to be brought to your room itself, or would you like to have that in our dining area behind the stairs itself?
Let's dine. Let's dine down here.
Let's dine? Okay, that was what I was thinking as well. So we will have it down here. I believe we have other friends coming, so...
Well, excellent. That will be 15 gold pieces. How many nights are you planning to stay?
Should we put down for 3 at the moment?
Let us put down for 2, and then we will, if we need a third, we can come pay for another one. But we at least know we will be here for the next 2.
Oh, yes, it is only 2. Okay.
So 2 nights, that is easily enough. Let me go ahead and... Excuse me. Let me go ahead and write you down in the ledger as she goes ahead and gets an ink and quill, opens up. And so, like, if you've been to inns before, they have, they have like a tattered maybe, or like a nice leather. It's like golden crested leather, like hardbound ledger book that she opens. The quill is like of like a, I don't even know, just immaculately, like, it's like every single feather is like, or like portion of the quill is in line, and then she kind of dips in the ink and then elegantly kind of, what name is going to be on the rooms, or can I actually get both of your names if you do not mind?
My name is Morello Adeaxian.
My name is Zahir.
Is she?
I was never. It was very rude of me, but I forgot to ask yours.
Okay. Alright, I see how you are. This dude, hold on, let me pull up her shit. Hold on.
I gave you that whole piece of dialogue, bro. I gave you time.
You did give me time, but
Yeah.
but somehow I still did not see it coming.
He's role-playing
Bro,
a polite man who will ask everybody their name.
Oh shit, I should have.
That's
I'm
insane.
role-playing a
Backstory,
man
their
who
lineage.
wants to rob him.
Their lineage, what they ate for dinner the night before.
This is
He's a
good.
friendly
This is
guy.
good. This is good. My name is Joanna.
Joanna?
Joanna.
Joanna.
It's just Johana.
Well, it has been very lovely talking to you, Joanna, but...
I should probably write this down.
I am quite hungry, so I myself am going to go sit down and begin to eat. And I will hand over 30 gold pieces.
Why is that so massive? Wait, hold on.
Well, you see, I just got paid, so my gold patch is quite cool.
I like it.
I've been working out.
Well, you see, most of us dragonborn, and none of us get on the side. I'm not quite sure what your question is. If you're asking about my tale of my Warhammer, I'm not quite sure.
No. I apologize. I miswrote something in the ledger. Yes. You were paying for you put down 30 gold, right? So your 2 nights.
Yes, I do.
Good to go for
2
that.
nights.
For meals for the evening, it was going to be another additional 2 gold pieces for both of your meals, and also provided ale. We do have some of the some very fine kind of continent-wide options if they will be available for you when the server makes their way over there and takes your order. But I will go ahead and make sure that actually, as you hand over, do you hand over the gold for the meals too?
I'll hand over gold for the meals.
Okay,
as
so
well,
that's
too.
4 more gold, so 34 total. As you hand over the
I'll
gold,
turn to ask, would you like any reimbursement, Morello?
No, this is on me.
All right.
I would say at this point, as you guys are kind of at this point, as she kind of goes underneath to get the to go underneath the desk. At this point, I would say Virden and Denrick, you both go ahead and kind of walk in as the door is opened by the nicely dressed individual. Welcome to the Hearthfire Inn. As you both enter in, similar in description, very grandiose. At which point, there is a little bit of a bell, kind of So as both Zahir and Morello, you both look over and you do see your two individuals that you met earlier.
Quite the place.
Gotcha.
As Joanna, she goes in and pulls up two little kind of like kind of index cards, size like, or not index cards, but kind of like a business card size little piece of paper, but a piece of like parchment. And she goes ahead and she looks at the ledger and kind of writes down both of your names. She hands them both over to you, and it's basically like a voucher for your already paid meal.
This is perfect. Thank you. I will grab my voucher.
Oh, and then obviously, and then she goes ahead and you hear kind of like the clattering of kind of metal underneath the desk as well. And she pulls up two kind of nicely kind of bronze keys as she hands them both over to you, very elegantly designed. Hands them both over to you, and on the keys themselves it says 302. You will both be on floor 3 in the second room, and they are all individually marked, so you should have no issues with when it comes to finding them.
Perfect.
Thank you very much.
I will. I'll pull out my holy symbol, which is a dragon's head medallion, and I will tie the key to another part of that medallion, and then I'll tuck that back in my belt.
Sounds good to me.
Do I have a key as well?
You do, yeah. You both have keys. Yep.
I will put it in my pouch of rocks.
You should have used the key as a weapon in 3 sessions.
Missile.
He said just projectiles and that's funny.
I will walk over to Sedendrick and Weirden. Oh, hello. We have just finished acquiring a room and paid for some food for the night. We are going to go grab a table over in the dining area under the stairs. I would love it if you...
It's past the stairs, but yeah.
I was
Past
gonna
the
say,
stairs?
it's like, is there a Harry Potter dining
No.
room
So
situation?
basically, the there's like a you'll see. It's past the stairs. You'll see.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. Yeah.
If you would like to join us, I would love to share a meal with you. It is always good to get to know people before a job starts.
Yes, we will. I'll be right over. What about you,
Hope
Bearden?
this music doesn't suck.
I hope it doesn't suck too.
All right, that's pretty
I
good.
think Viridin looks. What's kind of the population of this tavern? Like, how full is it?
Let me get back to looking at you because I had to put on some other music. All right, we're good. Hold on. Okay, stream is good. Okay, so as you look around, it is kind of early in the evening. You do see that there's about probably 3 to 4. At one hearth there is 5, but there's just a smattering of different kind of people. There's kind of a group of people over at a table. You see one individual kind of reading. One person's looking for from the bookshelves and kind of looking through books and kind of putting it back. And so there's probably about in at least the hearth space in the common area kind of right there. I'd say probably 12 to 15.
Okay. Then yeah, I think looking around, I see it's not too packed. It's not like that crazy to me. So I think I think if anything, I've kind of kicked myself a little bit for not asking how much a room costs. But to Sir Denner's we should get something to eat and join them. Don't want to offend them before we set out and risk life and limb together.
Fair enough.
So as you both,
Yeah, I think I would make it up to
I guess-
the. I guess I'll wait. I'll follow Sir Denrick wherever he's going.
okay, so you
Well,
guys,
we have to pay for a room first, right?
Yep. Well, so you have
Yes,
already
right.
paid. You've already paid.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you've already paid for you were just let's see, hold on. So I would say that you've paid up until this point. You had your couple nights. You've been here for a couple of days. And so because of that, you need to you have a room already, but you need to kind of re-up it. So you need to go up to the desk anyway.
What room did I go with?
You went for what room did you go with? Whatever.
I've already been here a couple of days. I'll go for the.
You've already inquired, so it's either 8 gold, 15 gold, or 30 gold a night.
I just go with the modest lodgings.
Okay, so 15. That's too easy.
Do you want me to subtract that from what I have now?
No, you're good. You're good.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm good. Well, no, you can subtract it.
I'll pay for it.
That's what you get, Todd. Way to ask.
Hey, you know what? I appreciate
I am
that.
an honorable man.
I like it. I like it. You're good. Nope, I appreciate that actually a lot. That's some good. You know what, Todd? For that, take a point of inspiration.
Hey, yo.
15
It's
gold
called-
for inspiration.
Called an investment.
Technically, it'd be 45 gold. I'm pretty sure, because you've been here. Let me look at your.
Damn.
Let me look at your.
Well, gold and food. Well, I mean, room and lodging and food.
So we would say probably.
I guess I brought food, but I'm not trying to eat.
Okay, I do need to ask, and this might adjust. This might adjust because do you have your servants?
Yes.
I mean, so I would say this is your choice. You can either have left them, because you're going into the great beyond, or you can have left them in Weston, or you can have taken them this far. Obviously, we've already kind of discussed certain things, but that will adjust your costs.
Yes, I would have brought them.
How many? This
3.
music is fancy as shit, and I think it fits the vibe.
Hell yeah. I would say there would be 3.
Okay, so you brought.
Just for how long of a journey it is, I would say yes, I did bring them.
Okay.
And I didn't necessarily know like how long I would be gone. Because it's not like, oh, I'll be up there, bed back in 3 days. So I would probably just gone alone.
Yeah.
They will probably be lodged in the cheaper one then.
Oh, you mean the cheap inn, right? Across town?
The cheapest you got. Dude. The stable. They're sleeping in the stable.
They're
dude.
with your horse currently?
I don't
They're
know.
with
My
the
squire,
horse
my,
there as the horse's blanket, just like laying
my,
on
s-
it.
my squire is a little weird, dude. He tried to sleep in the stable with the horse, but it was too cold, so he got room with the others.
Okay.
So I guess just what would be the cost of? I guess we
Big
can.
element energy.
You want to just tally that at the end, or what do you think?
Well, if you
Or do you want me to pay up front?
we'll
I can
we'll
pay from.
hey, to not bog anything else down, we'll tally this later. We'll tally this later. We'll go ahead and for now.
But yeah, they would be staying in
Okay.
in the summers something.
Oh, okay. So they're not here. Got it. Okay. Then yeah, we'll figure that out later. Okay. So you would be up to you'd be up to about 50. Take 50 gold away for meals and for lodging up to this point, and now you need to go up there and you need to repay. All right. Okay, so there you go. 50 gone, and then now you guys are okay. This music, fucking, what is this, dude? This is weird. I don't. Hold on, please hold.
No, it's fine.
Dude, I feel patriotic.
I don't.
Yeah, just start playing
Dude,
Fortunate Son.
This is so strange.
Is this the conditions we're about to go into, bro? About to fight goblins, pop out of the snow, and start shooting at us with
And
arrows.
to like the drums of old timey.
We're gonna hit him with a musket line.
Hear him singing
Yeah,
old
my
war
class
songs.
should have been drummer boy. Is your squire a drummer boy, Todd? That'd be
He
tight.
can be.
Dude, boy, the drummer boy.
Boy, drummer boy. Boy, comma, drummer boy.
And as he's bleeding out and dying on the battlefield.
Oh
he'll
no!
finally become a
Oh
drummer
no!
man.
We're just gonna stop
I
you.
will drum one last time, Commander.
All right, hold on.
Commander, let me sleep with the horse one more time.
You are not a drummer boy. You are a drummer man. Bleeds out. Oh, where'd he go?
Robot
Oh,
man.
no.
Took him
Oh,
out
what'd
back
you do
and
with the what'd you do with the
executed him. Didn't even
minstrel,
hear
dude?
the music,
Dude,
bro.
he just got
put him.
unabotted.
Bro, I
He
need
said,
execution
"Fuck you."
minstrel, dude.
Sorry, bro. That motherfucker had to die. It was not the vibe, so you just hear in the background. Okay. Okay. This is
Everyone
Everyone in the tavern boot him off the
That should go.
stage.
okay.
So
So
actually,
with
do
Is there
have a
gonna be a
question.
play tonight?
oh, what's up? What's up, Merlo?
do I have a singular diamond?
Do you have a singular diamond? What is
mined one out of the...
for what exactly?
As a part of the spells I get as life domain, Revivify is one of these spells, and I need a diamond.
Oh,
And
interesting.
we do not have enough money between us to cover that.
I mean,
How
I
about
would
this?
say extra meta, but like you'd probably end up having one by level 8, wouldn't you?
Bro, this cat in the scene, I like it. Yeah, I will say this. I will say how much gold do you have right now?
Left over, I have 965.
965. I would say
If not, can I buy one here?
Hey, I can
I
help
will.
you haggle for one.
I will say this. I will say this. I will give you 1 diamond, the equal to the cost of Revivify, because you are level 8. It would make sense. You're not just gonna be like, I got Revivify, bitches, and I got no diamonds. I'll give you 1 for free, and then if you need to procure more, you feel like you should procure more, then I will allow for you, or you can go ahead and search within the town.
Perfect, thank you.
Yeah.
Of course.
I in 5 sessions will appreciate you doing that.
Yep. So as you both go ahead and make your way over to the front, and you know Joanna, you've seen her before, Sir.
Give me 1 second, Dad's calling.
Oh yeah, no worries.
problem.
Sir Denrick, you have seen her, so she's like, Sir Denrick, you have returned. And then who is this? Who is your companion here?
Good evening, Joanna. This is my compatriot, Virden.
Oh, Virden, it's a pleasure. Welcome to the Hearthfire's, the Hearthfire Inn.
Yeah. I give like a little bow, a little curtsy, essentially.
She kind of nods back. So I'm assuming that you are here to probably re-up your room that you have because of the it looks here that as she said already, she saw you enter and kind of changed pages a couple back, and you can see there's other names, and it's kind of these pages are filled, but she looks and she sees that your first 3 nights they have obviously come to a close, and I was curious as to if you will be spending any more time with us.
Oh yes, if you would, I would. Thank you kindly.
How many more
Thinking-
nights are you thinking?
At least 2 more nights. I'll be back to pay for a 3rd if needs be. We're looking to set out about that time.
Are you going to be paying for the same room, or are you going to be paying for a different room? Are you going to upgrade or downgrade?
Yeah, the same room. The same room will work just fine. Thank you.
Easily enough. That will be, you said 2 more nights. That will be 30 gold pieces. And then, Mr. Virden, are you going to be acquiring a room as well?
How much is the
Hey,
most
hang on,
humble
did
abode?
It was going to be 8 gold pieces a night for our how you say, economy rooms.
I'll do a night there if you don't mind.
A singular night?
A singular night, please.
That will be 8 gold pieces, and she kind of, and then can I have your full name, please?
That'll be Virden.
Last name as well?
I do not have a last name. Virden.
That is simple enough. As she takes it and writes it down. You guys go ahead and
100% giving her my full name.
easy
I
enough.
note that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's yep. No, they'll sus a little bit. Actually, go ahead and make a deception check. Mainly just for Sir Denrick.
Yeah. Right, because he's there as well.
Yeah.
Well, I have no bonuses to it, but 17.
17.
Yeah.
I would say
Actually, I have a -1, but
I would say you still note it, but it came off smoothly, Sir Denrick. So it's not like it was like and then he fumbled it. It was kind of like, I just don't have a last name. So you're like, you note that, but there's nothing off-putting per se. She just takes it and she's good to go. So, well, very good. I do have here I have room 305 for you.
yeah. I think before as I'm giving her the money, I think I'll have as I'm opening my coin purse, what drinks and food do you have available here? Perhaps I could take care of that now.
Oh yes, if you want to go ahead and pay for an evening meal, you can go ahead and do so. It's going to be 2 gold pieces for a meal for the evening.
Yeah.
And that also includes drinks as well. So 2 gold pieces, and we'll give you a voucher, and you will be good to go to take it over to the bar kind of restaurant area, and they will see to it.
Dude, this place is swanky as fuck. Yeah, I think with that he just takes the 8, he's kind of impressed by this. Just barely moner in this food situation. 2 gold, okay, and just gives you the full 10 gold over.
Easily enough. Thank you for your patronage. Here is your key. You're going to be in room 305. And so
Nods with that. I'll write that down.
So then, Rick, are you going to be partaking tonight in the food as well?
Oh yes, I would love to, and yes, I would join my companions here, and if you wouldn't mind, I would like to partake in your finest ale and your choicest cut, and some for yourself as well. And I hand her 4 gold.
Oh, that is very kind of you. Hey, no, hey, hold on, hey, everyone, hey, everybody, pull up the photo. I'm pulling up the photo right now so I can see him hit the the maximum riz, bro, the maximum
He strikes
riz,
that exact pose.
bro, the maximum riz. That boy.
The smolder,
I cast
dude.
thaumaturgy behind him to give him the extra glow.
That boy got the dude, and the glow. Yeah, it's cool. Dude, that's
Next thing Todd rolls for, I'm using wheel to humble him.
Can I bless him?
Can I bless him? Can I make his
cast guidance?
Can I make that man better? That's awesome. She blushes like very, and it's like, oh well, thank you. Like kind of like averts a little bit and takes it like sheepishly. Well, thank you very much, Sir Denrick. And then she takes up 2 little vouchers, writes your names on both of them, hands them over. And you gentlemen are all set to go. Thank you very much for staying at the Hearth Fire, and if there's anything else I can do for you, feel free to ask.
Yeah, I think I take the meal voucher, and then I just like nod at her, and then I make my way over to wherever the food situation is, wherever the food and drink.
Free continental breakfast.
the free nighttime continental breakfast.
So
free 2 gold continental breakfast.
oh goodness. So figuring Morello and Zahir, were you guys waiting for them kind of at the hearth area, or what are you guys doing?
I think we would have already taken up a table.
Okay.
Yeah, we just went over to go make sure we got a table for all of us.
Okay, so as you both kind of make your way through the kind of hearth region of the kind of center space here, you just kind of look around, and yeah, it is very nicely, like, you can, as you get kind of a little closer, you can see that the like each chair is like sofa cushion that's like the most premium kind of like materials. There's blankets, there's just like all the different assortment of just kind of like cozy aesthetics of what you would want when you're traversing harsh winter landscapes, and to come into a place like this, it's just all there. It just feels good, feels warm, it feels cozy as you guys make your way.
Ski lodge feel.
Yeah, pretty much, exactly right. That outside is shitty, so in here it's just like makes it feel extra good. So as you make your way over to the far side, you kind of hook around kind of behind the large kind of stairwell that kind of blocks some of the view behind, and you do see kind of a section kind of off to the back portion of this large interior space. You see that there is a bar kind of set up in the middle of this kind of back wall, and it's kind of like a half circle shaped bar, and it's got like enough spaces for like 12 to 15 like stools in front of it. You see that there's a bunch of different kind of kegs and barrels behind with different options and whatnot, and then you see that there is some seating kind of in this area itself for food next to the bar, but you do see that there is a double door that's like that they're both propped open, and there is like a mounted piece of wood that says the Hearth's Delight. And you can kind of hear some more kind of hustle and bustle inside, and you're kind of assuming that this is probably like kind of like a more quiet, kind of chill, like eating area with and the bar's right there, and there's also like a larger portion of the restaurant, but beyond those double doors, past deeper into the actual place itself.
We grab a quiet area, right?
It's up to you. They're both kind of over there. You guys are still kind of dealing with business. This is them kind of making their way over there first.
Well, I mean, they went there first.
Yeah, I'll ask
Where you guys at?
Morello if he would like to go in the restaurant proper, or if he wants to sit out here.
If we could find the area more suitable to talk with each other, because I'd like to get to know everyone a bit. That would work for me. I do not mind if it is out here or in the restaurant.
Yeah, which can we tell which places would be quieter?
I mean, honestly, you can hear and
One moment.
You're good, man. You can tell that even from right here, and this music is pretty accurate to the ambiance that you can hear within the actual restaurant. You can hear a very elegant kind of soft harp playing in the distance beyond into the actual restaurant. And you do hear like the murmuring of kind of a larger crowd, you know, like not like a super packed restaurant, but like there's enough people, you know, it's got some hum to it. But out here in the actual bar, kind of exterior portion, there's like two couples out here, but it's much quieter. It's more, you know, you can hear like the loud kind of cracking of a fire in one of the hearths behind you, but it's better kind of just, it's chiller more out here. There's not a lot of people.
And yeah, we'll find a nice, more secluded booth out here.
Okay, sounds good. So, and then yeah, so on this back kind of like rectangular portion of the inn, you see that that on to the left and right side, because the bar is kind of located central on this wall, left hand, right hand side, kind of with about probably 20-30 feet of clearance from the bar, there are booths that go along the back wall as well, and so you can kind of find a booth there. And you also notice that a little bit taller up, so not necessarily at the ground level, but about what you, because this ceiling kind of goes up for about probably 40-50 feet, and towards the top portion you can see a large stained glass like mural of different like kind of like staining of colors, and it looks beautiful now, but both of you make insight checks.
That is
16.
16. Did you?
8 from
8
Morello.
for me.
Oh, you said 8. Okay. 16. So Morello, you're just kind of like, damn, that's pretty cool. But Zahir, you're assuming, and you're kind of more in tune with nature, and you kind of have more understanding. You're assuming that when the sun rises, it probably shoots through the stained glass, and it probably like just is elegantly and just a beautiful kind of showering of just colors. Obviously, it's nighttime now, so it's not so spectacular, but it still looks nice. Are you guys wanting to be on the left hand or right hand side of the tavern? Within one of the booths.
Let's go right.
Okay, so the right hand side, it's kind of still a little bit closer to the hearths and whatnot, whereas the left hand side of the booth is closer to the restaurant, kind of keeps you a little bit more hushed to the side. So you guys make your way over there. You guys take a seat.
Yeah, less traffic.
Yeah, as you guys, as you kind of get seated, kind of a couple moments later, you do see Denrick and Virden both make their way over. Similar coupons kind of in hand. I know that you were
They
gone.
didn't say anything about bringing weapons in here, did they?
Mordecai,
Nope.
Rigby, I have coupons.
You're muted, Virden. You're muted. There you go.
Yeah, I heard you describe the stained glass window, but that's all I heard.
Okay, one sec. I'm checking to make sure everything's good
What?
for audio. Hold on, I'm talking so that I could check. All right, we're good. Okay. So the only thing, did you hear the restaurant portion?
I did not, but
Okay. So as you and Denrick kind of make your way over here, you see that there's like a bar kind of in this exterior portion, kind of past all the hearths. You see that there's booths along the walls. As well, kind of like similarly to the bar. You see there's a couple of different kind of tables, circular tables out here, kind of a more chill vibe portion of the restaurant. But then as you look to the left-hand wall, there's double doors propped open, and you can see there's like a plaque over it. It's called the Hearth's Delight.
okay.
You can kind of discern that that's probably the restaurant, like a more actual like restaurant-y portion of this actual kind of eating area. And you hear like this similar music kind of playing right now, like a harp kind of coming from, and you hear bits of murmuring. So it seems like it's fairly full, but it's like there's almost it's almost like a patio and still inside the actual inn. So like out here is kind of like patio seating, and there's like the main restaurant, and And as you're looking around, you do see that your two companions have chose to sit at a booth on the right-hand side of the bar in this main section still.
Okay. I think I see them seated. Have they gotten food yet?
They have not. They have not been.
Awesome. I look for wine.
Okay.
Immediately look for wine.
Would you like to go up to the bar?
Yeah, if that's I'd go up to the bar. Just like cursory glance. I'm looking over to see if there's anything wine-ish because I know we're in a northern area, so I don't know if they have anything like that. But
Make
I'm
a
just
perception
looking.
check.
Sure. Yeah.
Wine.
It was a nat 20.
Damn, bro. If there wasn't wine before, there's fucking wine now.
I use wheel to decrease that.
What is wheel? Is that a what is wheel?
So I have an ability that.
Are you gonna decrease my wine?
No, bro. Bro, what? Hater alert.
Bro, I need to humble him.
I'm looking
Wheel?
to get
What?
sloshed.
Hold on, I'm confused.
But I have an ability that, like at the start of each day, I roll a dice, and if it's even, I have wheel. If it's odd, whoa, my bad. But if it's odd, I have woe, and I can force like an increase or decrease of D6 on a saving throw ability check or saving throw.
That's pretty
Decrease
cool.
my nat 20.
That's pretty dope.
I don't think you can decrease in that 20 though.
So you decrease my nat 20. Well,
I can decrease the number.
Technically, yeah. So the number, let me get back to this. The number for just normal perception for me is 24, so it'd be 18.
Are you actually casting this on this guy?
I just thought it was kind of funny. No, not really.
I mean, you can, like...
Okay.
No,
I would say meta. You're probably looking at Morello, not really like paying a whole lot of attention.
Yeah, no.
But I will say, so as you're looking around,
such as, this
as you're kind of you're still a couple like probably 30, 40 feet away from the bar itself, but you start to kind of look, and they do actually have different things on display, and you can tell, and you do see that there are wine bottles definitely out and definitely available.
Oh, I am not polite on my way over to that. Like, I am I'm walking past people. Like, I'm keeping my cowl on. Like, I still have my full, like, outdoor, like, gear on. I'm just making my way over till I am at the bar to get me some.
Okay, so there is like a couple people at the bar, but the individual, it's a male, human male. He kind of has like kind of a run of the mill kind of like bartender. Like he has a white shirt, kind of a black vest on, some nice dress, nice pants on. You see that his hair, he kind of has like some shaved sides of his head, but he has like hair kind of slicked over, and he does kind of step over, like he sees you like. Fucking, I'm getting this. It's like push the child out the way, and you're just like making
drop kicks in
window.
You make your way, you push the kid, and then you walk over, and he's like, "You seem like you're in such a rush. What can I get for you, sir?"
What I see you have many wines. What is your fruitiest wine?
I would say our fruitiest wine would probably be the Elven Midsummer wine. It is one of our. We do have a couple others. If you would like to hear the options.
Fruity sounds great. I'll take as much as you're allowed to give me right now.
So I will say, with your as he kind of sees in your hand, with your voucher,
I'm holding my train ticket.
With your voucher, you are able to get 3 drinks. That is included with your meal. However, the Elven Midsummer wine is very expensive. So to get the glass, it takes 2 of your 3 vouchers or 3 drinks.
I slam my gold down. It's like, how much for the bottle?
It'll be 10 gold pieces for the bottle.
10 gold.
Okay. Cannot argue with that. As he just at this point, like it's on the counter, and he just being displayed, he just passes it over to you.
Yeah. It's like I think I grab it. And I'm like, can you open it?
He laughs, absolutely, sir. As he puts it back down, he corks it, shoots it out, or takes out the thing, and he actually hands the top to you, and you can see that it has like a design of like berries, kind of on a vineyard, and there's like a sun kind of over top this whole thing, and it's very elegant. It has like elvish kind of accenting designs to it. Very nice cork, just like.
Beautiful.
For no fucking reason. It's just nice, and so.
Yeah, no, I think I would take something. I think I would actually take a minute and admire like oh, that's so unnecessarily gorgeous, and I'll pocket it for sure.
Hell yeah.
But then I'll take that. Does he give me a glass as well?
Yeah, he hands you a glass.
All right, cool. Then I think I'll take that and then like kind of like come to. I'm like, oh, I should probably go to the people, and I'll make my way over to the table where everyone else is seated.
Sounds good.
I guess before he comes back, I'll stand up. Morello is here, my friends. Would you like anything to drink? I'm going to make my way to the bar.
Well, if you could grab me whatever else they have, that would be fine for me.
Yeah, just get a second of whatever you're getting.
Very well.
If you would.
I will come with you because I need to go order some of my food as well.
I'll hold the table.
Okay.
Mhm.
Sounds good.
Oh, you poor
I'd
bastard.
like to make my way to the bar politely. Like on my way, making some friends, maybe kiss a baby.
Bro, hey, pull up. Hey, pull up the photo. Pull up the photo again.
Dude, check out the reacts on the photo though.
Hey, I'm gonna at the beginning of next session. I will have the ability to pull up that photo so everyone can see it, because once you see that shit,
Bro, you're doing too
it's
much,
gonna
dude.
no. I'm actually gonna post it on the Instagram. I'm gonna go ahead and just put that.
Nice.
Meet our players or meet our adventurers, and it's gonna be the most Riz
Daddy.
Lord, Daddy Denrick. Okay, so as
Daddy D.
you Denrick, I'm saying that right?
Yes.
Denrick and Morello, you're both going, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so as you both go ahead and get up, you do actually there is a similarly dressed individual to the bar. To the bartender. However, he's got a little bit more. He's a little bit younger. He seems. It's another human male, and you see that he's kind of got some like kind of short, kind of curly hair, kind of like messy, kind of dirty blonde, kind of curly hair. As he comes over, he's like, yes, can I apologies for the delay. Is there anything I can get your table for food or drinks or anything?
Yes. Me and our friend over at the table here were looking for at least a meal for the night.
Yes, absolutely.
Just-
Continue. Sorry.
Just anything hearty. We have lots to do tomorrow, so something to fill us up.
Absolutely, we have.
Is he at the table?
Yeah, like Denrick came over and was like, "Hey, I'm gonna go to the bar," and then like Morelos kind of stands up, and then this the server kind of like rushes over, like, "Oh, I'm sorry," like, and like now is kind of like trying to play a little bit of catch up as he is now taking your order.
Yeah, let me know
I'll
if
ask
I
him-
come into this conversation.
I'll
Okay.
ask him what
My
he
fucking
recommends.
bounty.
Well, it depends on as to what exactly you're looking for. What is your preferred alcohol? We have a whole variety of things. Do you prefer
I'm
a
not
mead or a
particularly
beer,
choosy.
a stout? Do you prefer a wine, a cider, a concoction of sorts, or do you prefer hard liquor? Or mixes? What is exactly are you looking for to get?
Let's get something, just something sweet, like a nice mead.
You would like a nice mead, okay. So we do offer here. We do have our Moondrop mead. It is a nice kind of elven sparkling mead. It's by the way, if anyone ever watches this and you made these drinks, absolutely kudos to you, because I sold them off the internet and there was like 50 of them and they're great. So not taking credit for a handful of these, but anyway,
I will.
yeah, he will.
Yeah.
But
Come at me.
there's my little thing. I love D&D. I love the amount of the shared creative content. So there you go.
Can I get a Skull Crusher ale?
You know what? I've been meaning to go through DRG and add like every single one of their things, because they're so good that like I just have like, why not?
Give me a Glyphid Slammer, please.
But we do for the meads off the top of my head, we do have the Moondrop mead. It is a very honey and it's very it's very good.
That sounds excellent.
That's
What kind of...
oh, go ahead. Yes.
Sorry, no, continue on for the cost of that.
Oh, I was just going to say, do you do
It
all
is with our voucher, is it not?
with the voucher? Yeah, and at the bottom of the voucher, it does have like 3 little kind of like drink little symbols, and so he kind of like punches them out. And so he does take yours. He'll punch it out, and then he hands it back to you, Zahir. For you, yes.
Well, what kind of concoctions do you have? There is a very popular one called the Kraken's Ink at the tavern in my town, known as the Slappin' Kraken.
Say slap and crack.
I do not-
That's
I
pretty
did say
fucking
the
good.
Slappin'
This-
Kraken. It's run by a tiny kobold.
The I will
That's
say.
what it was.
I will say that I do not think that might be more of a local brew or something because we do not have that here. However, for tasteful and kind of fancy concoctions that we have a list. We have a blue cooler, we have a strawberry walker, we have a lemongrass breeze, or a green duchess.
Could I get a lemongrass breeze, please?
Absolutely. As he takes your voucher and he goes ahead and stamps it as well, or punches it, or whatever. D&D equivalent of a punch of a hole puncher.
Yes.
Just a stick.
And you,
Stabs
sir,
it.
what exactly would you like? As he turns to you, Denrick.
We'll partake in your finest ale, if you would.
Okay.
Does Todd's
I'm gonna run
meal
up to the
ticket
bathroom
have
really
like
quick.
the hostess's like lipstick on it or something?
Oh yeah,
to
100%,
signify?
100%,
Yeah, yeah.
100%, 100%, 100%.
Easy.
Hell yeah! Gotta get
100%.
on that fine shit.
Your finest, you said ale, right?
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh no, that one's hella cheap.
Eel slapper ale.
Ale, I think I only have one ale. I have a bunch of beer. I
Just call
I
it an
mean,
ale and
it's
don't tell
more
them.
or less. It's more or less the same thing. Kind of
yes.
idea.
So for when it comes to ale, we do have a variety of things. Even though all of these names say beer.
Eh,
um.
gotta move those nouns around, baby.
Yeah, we got to do a little bit of what is it? Not what is it called? The word
Eel
wordle.
switcheroo.
The wordle.
Ale.
So we do have a Hausbier, or Hausbier, I think is how it's Hausbier. It is a dwarvish beer made from fermented mushrooms. It is very good. We also have a Frostfoam beer as well. We do import Grumble Grog Ale. However, it is of the cheaper kind of on the cheaper spectrum of the menu, but we do offer it if you'd like something like that. We also have the Silver Forge beer. And I want to say that I just offered the Moondrop beer to your compatriot if you'd like one of those as well.
Oh, the Silver Forge sounds wonderful, if you would.
Excellent. That is actually one of our finest beers that we have on the actual on tap. So that will be one. That'll actually be another. That'll be one from you. So get your orders. He goes ahead and punches all your cards. Now for the meals, is there anything in particular that you would like? We have venison, we have pig, we have steak, we have a variety of meats. We have duck. What would you like?
We'll take,
Am I there yet, or I'm still?
Yeah, you've come up now. Yeah, you're good. You have your thing. At this point, he's kind of taking the orders, and you kind of walk up as he's like, "Now, what would you like to eat?" And then you kind of
Yeah,
suck up.
yeah.
I'll take a thick cut of venison, if you would.
Absolutely, yes, sir.
I think I'm actually going to turn to Morello and say, pardon me for not knowing, but what was the type of, I guess, that like meat bread thing that Axoff brought you? Because that looked pretty good.
I believe it was venison. I did not ask, but it tasted like venison if I have ever had some, and since this is a heavy hunting region, that would be my guess.
Okay, I think it was like. Then I just turned to the guy like, if you have some of that and maybe some greens or whatever you have available. I know it's winter, but
We absolutely have salads. That is something we can easily. We have a variation of fruits and vegetables as well. We'll get kind of an assortment going for you.
And I got a
I think
leaf
just take
lover
that, and I'm
special.
just like letting the wine aerate, just kind of like setting the glass, kind of moving it little bits of this, just get it perfect presentation for myself.
Okay, nice.
Way too into it.
Yo, you might.
Who else? A couple. Anything else for food?
I avoid
Would
the
I be
salad.
able to get the duck, please?
Absolutely, yes. You can. You can absolutely get the
I
duck.
purposely avoid the salad.
And then Zahir, you already said what you wanted, right?
For food? No.
Yeah.
I'll just get what the server recommends.
Well, I recommend that the steak at this time is I know that we have one of our top steak chefs actually in the kitchen right now, so I will definitely recommend that if you want it done perfectly.
Oh, well, strike while the fire while the iron's hot. Absolutely. Give me one of those steaks.
Easily enough. Now I just will, and then he takes all of your cards. He does punch the like. There's basically it's like a Hearthfire meal voucher at the top. In the middle, it has basically like a plate and it has like varying foods on it. And then at the bottom, it has like the 3 drinks. And so he punches out the food for all of you. And then besides, everyone has 1 punch out for drinks besides Virden, who has 2. And so he hands
Is
them
it
back.
one meal?
It is 1 meal, yes.
Oh. Then if it's not too inconvenient, I would like to add that as well as an extra. And then bread if you have it. The steak.
You want to add a steak to your order as well?
Yeah.
That is easily enough. Can be done for you, sir. Absolutely. Well, if that's
I was
concludes.
gonna say Todd's not even role playing right now. He's just like, "This is what I do."
Oh, I need to get some real stuff for next time, dude. I'm starving.
No, just absolutely
Big
yes.
snack
If there's nothing else that I can get any of you, that I'll put that in right away, and it should be out fairly soon. Just go ahead and it's a little bit of peak time right now, so just be patient with our chefs. But I will be back to check on you occasionally. And he kind of like slightly nods, kind of steps back, and departs. And you can see that he heads back towards the actual kind of restaurant entrance itself.
I think as soon as he kind of leaves and we have the table to ourselves, I produce my meal ticket. It's been punched, but I show everyone else the 3 drinks on this.
Oh wait,
haven't
no.
been using them.
Oh no, I apologize. I said to you 2 punches. You bought that outright. You have 3 drinks still. I apologize.
That's what I mean. So I'm showing it.
Yeah.
And I'm saying like, hey, just so y'all know, I got these 3 are for whoever needs them if you guys start running out. You know. Because I'm set.
You're too kind, Virden.
This is very kind of you. I do not think I will be drinking too heavily tonight. It is not smart seen as the fact that we need to get ready.
Well, we can get ready in the morning. I mean, my mind tonight, we have, this is our one night to not have to worry. So that's what I'm doing. They're still here. I think I set the meal ticket on the table for everyone because it's of no use to me anymore.
Oh.
Then I begin actually pouring my wine.
Just the money bringing all of you into here, or do you have other reasons to be going to Snowstone?
I'm being guided to the east, and this adventure just so happens to be going just where I needed to go. So
Guided to the east? What do you mean by that?
yes, I receive impressions, and those impressions point me towards certain constellations, and then I follow said constellations.
What have they led you to before arriving here?
So far, they've led me to much danger, but that danger is upon other people, and I'm always able to help. And that is what always is impressed upon me, is to help.
That is most honorable. +1 rep with Sir Denry.
That's a what?
What
Sorry.
said +1 rep with Sir Denry.
Plus rep.
What of you, Morello? Where have you been around? And where are you from?
Sorry, would you be able to?
But where have you been around to, and where do you hail from?
Well, I hail from a small town somewhere on the map. We have not placed where my where my town is quite yet.
You know the
Um,
name at least.
I do know the name. I do know the name. I do know the name. I just don't have it down in my notes right now. I'm
It-
scrambling for my backstory.
It was Freyspire.
Oh yeah, Freyspire. I hail from the town of Freyspire. It is a small town just on the base of the mountain.
Hold on, just real quick for context for you. It would be in the province of Rivera. It'd be just south of the Everreach, kind of in the eastern portion of the province of Rivera.
Can I roll history to see if I've known of it?
Yeah.
Cool. 2.
You
So you said
I guess it'd be a
You-
4.
you
6.
you have not heard of it. You obviously know of the larger continents, or not continents, sorry, provinces, and so you kind of know in what general direction he's talking about, but you don't, obviously, you've never really heard of the town.
This is a smaller town, I guess.
Yeah.
so it's south of the where you said?
It's south of the Everreach Peaks in the, kind of in the eastern portion of the province of Rivera.
A different province, because we're in Ruwek, right?
Yeah, that's it's in the west, it's to the west. Rivera's to the west of Rowek.
We do a lot of research there. There used to be giants who actually owned the mountains that we lived on, and so we hired some adventurers from our town to do some dungeon delving, and I helped along with them as a part of the team.
I'm sure you have some interesting tales. Maybe along the way or tonight you wouldn't mind sharing some with us.
Well, I would love to share a story or two, hear about some adventures that you have gone on. Where do you
Hey,
hail
my-
from, Sir Dendrick?
I have
And
my
how do you
fair
get your
share. I am
title?
well, I am from the land of Weston. It is a kingdom. It is actually just south of here. Not too far. But my title, as I am a knight in the court of Sir King Aenor, and I've been in service for a number of years, and yeah, I've done my fair share of traveling and had quite an adventure or two.
What about the other two of you, Zahir, Weirden? What have you been journeys tales from before here?
And like,
There's many times where I've happened upon. I tend to be guided through various small villages, and sometimes I get there before disaster strikes, sometimes during, and then on one occasion, right after everything had been destroyed by what I now know as a Remores. And I tend to, if the creatures are still fighting, then I do my best to fight back, and oftentimes it's various like wolf packs attacking, or maybe there's fire and it's wreaking havoc through the village. I just do my best to assist villagers and heal the wounded, if there are.
what have you, Virden? You're awfully quiet over there.
Yeah, I think Virded has his full cowl up still, like still wearing the everything. Like,
Just out of curiosity, are you going to take that down while we are inside, or?
uh, I guess we're traveling together. So I think, yeah, I will take my cowl out, and I have, like, just incredibly long, like, white and gray hair. But I think also when I take my cowl off, I also see all my tattoos all over my head and face. Like, tattoos, gauges, like, everything's black all over my very white skin. Like, my cowl, like, you can't see any tattoos, but as I take it off, you see there's tattoos down to my cheeks, like, almost magically hidden by this cowl. So yeah, just a fucking display of a face.
I see you and I are a little bit alike, extra metallic, and I tap on my copper scales.
Yeah, I suppose in a way. Yeah, sure. Yeah, no, I travel around. I normally am kind of a collector of sorts. I think I say this while holding up the little cork I just got. You know, it's just like I just go around, travel place to place, just collect interesting things. Snowstone actually, it's where I was gonna head there anyway. But yeah, turns out this caravan was a good route there, and it's better to get paid on your way there than having to pay someone else. I figured so. You know, why not?
If you don't mind me asking, what do you collect?
I'm normal. I have like clients, I guess you could say. So it really just depends. Like,
Okay.
like, you know, like one time I was sent to like a bog. You know, so sent there is like, hey, find this like weird frog. So I went and found it, brought the frog. You know, just things like that, just weird stuff. There's normally specific, but you know, like one time it's like, you know, like the glass that a child wept upon as their parents died. Like I had to get that. You know, like, you know, there's very specific things.
Upon that statement, I'll kind of lean a
Yeah, I'll
little
kinda
bit
look at
back
him a
in my
little
chair.
weird.
Like,
I will.
I'll straighten up a little bit.
Yeah.
Posture-wise.
Us meter throwing up.
There's nothing strange on this journey
And-
that we need to keep an eye out for.
How?
Right?
No, I don't. I mean, I don't see how there's nothing because the cold's the biggest concern, right? I don't think there's anything to worry about.
You wouldn't happen to be interested in rummaging around those ruins, would you?
As you asked that real quick,
don't think so.
it's been probably about a couple, 20, 30 minutes at this point, and food does start to kind of come your way as the server comes back, brings a couple of plates, throws one in front of Zahir, not throws one, slides one in front of Zahir, slides one in front of you, Virden, as it immediately smells mouth-wateringly good, and he's like, do not worry, I will be right back to go ahead and grab the rest of your food. As he makes his way back,
Would you be able to grab me another one of the drinks? They were wonderful.
absolutely. What would you like?
Just surprise me. Something that tastes as good as this last leaf drink.
You got the what again? I don't even remember what you got.
I got the
The leaf lover
I
special. The leaf lover
Yeah.
special.
Did you get the moon drop or no? Who got the moon drop?
No.
That was
I
me.
think Nathan.
So
I
you
got
got the moon drop.
the one mixed concoction. The
the-
like leaf wind something.
The lemongrass breeze. Oh, that's right.
lemongrass breeze.
Okay.
There it is.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, I got you.
Something.
Okay,
You're
I got
close.
you. Oh, absolutely. I will go ahead and grab that for you. I'll put it in at the bar, and then I'll grab the rest of the food, and we will be all good to go. As he
Perfect,
heads
Thank
out.
you very much.
Heads out again. You guys can continue to talk, but like another couple minutes go by. All the food is out here in brief time, and you're
When he comes back, I will hand him my card to punch.
yep, he does so.
Since
I think like every sip of my wine is like just like uncomfortable ecstasy. Like I'm just sipping it, just going, it's like, just thoroughly enjoying the wine. Like
It is.
not like it's the only emotion you've seen for me. Just going like,
It is.
just taking
See you,
sips.
It is obscenely good, and so it's warranted. It is so sweet, but just it's so good.
see you are
Dashing.
enjoying that wine, Virden.
Yeah, they
You mind
don't
if I
have,
have a
don't
taste?
have a lot of. I suppose we're traveling. Yeah, oh no, I mean, please go ahead.
You're by
Go
no
ahead, have a
means
sip.
obligated.
No.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Here, please. I offer you the glass. Like, there's still some wine in the glass of a sip, but I offer you the glass.
Thank you. I'll take it.
It turns into a tanker.
Really morphs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As we're kind of eating and sharing stuff around a bit, so you mentioned wanting to know some stories from my previous adventures. Would you happen to have any of your own?
Oh yes.
And you can
Yes,
either say it outright, or you guys can just like RP like, oh yes, let's switch trade them some stories. Totally up to you. Just letting you know.
I'll just share a little bit. It is getting a little late. I wouldn't mind wrapping it up fairly soon.
Yeah. No,
What do you guys think?
I got you.
Yeah.
And then I would just say I'd say that you guys kind of swap some stories, kind of like of different varying acts of heroism on your travels, or just varying creatures that you may have come across. Obviously, if there's anything specific that anyone would like to say before we go ahead and close out here, you do get brought Morello. You do get brought a strawberry walker as your second drink. That is what it's called. Very, also like everything, all the drinks you guys have had have been very good. And so you guys have kind of collectively thinking that this was a good choice to kind of splurge a little bit and just indulge in this high class living. But couple, hour and a half, couple hours goes by as you guys kind of get lost, because four kind of strangers meeting, a lot to talk about, especially adventurers. So you guys kind of talk for some time, share stories, kind of get each other's understandings to who you each are. Eventually, a couple hours goes by, and it is getting a little late.
Constitution saving throws.
I would
Don't ask for them.
I would say I would
Drink heinously.
I would say like
I finish
it's-
off the vouchers, any extras.
Yeah, this makes it.
I left all my vouchers on the tabletop.
Hey,
Yeah,
I'm
I
not
only
trying to
used
make any
one.
money go to waste.
Yeah, no, you definitely,
Wait, you only used
yeah.
one, so I got
I'll drink with
two.
Sir
I got
Gendrick all night.
four.
I'll
That's
activate
seven.
my rune of
I
ice
used
as well,
none.
so I'm better at Constitution saving throws. My giant
So
rune.
far-
I'll just make myself
far-
drinking.
Can I
My
cast
calculations
resistance
are
on
correct.
Todd?
My calculations are correct. There
Am
would
I
be
just
7
fucked?
vouchers remaining.
I would say, how about this? I would say in spite, for the mood, I say that we will end tonight's session with y'all just kind of chatting, kind of enjoying each other's company, having some drinks, and we'll just end it there tonight. And then, we don't always have to end on a long rest. The long rest could just be y'all slept. Okay, cool. Next day. So let's just end it with y'all kind of being merry, having a good time. So
Okay.
that
I
is.
guess if it's like 4 hours, then it's not going to be like that much alcohol.
Yeah, y'all are just. Y'all aren't just being like at the bar, like let's get heinous. Y'all are just kind of sipping, enjoying.
It's not a slam and jam.
Yeah,
know?
you start to kind of enjoy. You're enjoying each sip, but it starts to hit you. But it's a slow burn. It's not like y'all just getting
It's like
tanked.
I'm a pretty big dude as well, so I
You're
can put
just
some
over
back
there.
if we need to just shell some down on the end of the night.
Uriden's over there getting silly.
But I will say we'll go ahead and
No, I'm drinking it slow.
we'll go ahead and I'll just go ahead and conclude that
Enjoy
for
each
tonight. And
drop
sign us off
too
here. I
much.
appreciate everyone who watched. Obviously, first episode of this arc, and so we should be back next Thursday to continue in episode 2. Kind of excited to see where this goes, but until then, we'll catch y'all next time, and peace out.
Laters.
Have a good